Oh, that's interesting. Did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You thought I did it
wait.
all
What the fuck?
Okay. I didn't really think about it until that last second there. I was like, hey, wait, this is not.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
You broke it.
Nigga, this week. I really only have two things.
You broke it.
No. See, me and my family are the only ones in this situation doing what we're supposed to do. Right? The only one.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
this is amazing.
Yeah. But there is a lesson in this that hopefully I can end that spiel off with a way to turn this at least partially into something positive. You know what I'm saying?
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, we're gonna give it.
Good luck.
We're gonna give it a college try.
Yeah. Good luck. I want to see you succeed, but I'm just realistic. What up, Biddy? What up, Jonathan?
What up, Biddy? Jonathan, McKenna. How's it going? How have your weeks been? Shit is so
yo, I think it's safe to say, ladies and gentlemen, that Tomb is heated.
Ass.
About that.
Fuck this. We getting into this.
All right, let's go.
Me, motherfucking me. Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ.
You
and I am Tombstone, the dead man, and we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. So you may be confused as to what the extra chuckles are about, the extra kafars, if you will. You know, there's an old saying that sometimes people laugh to hide the pain.
Facts.
Smokey Robinson, the late Smokey, well, he didn't die, but the great Smokey Robinson,
right,
once wrote a song called "The Tears of a Clown." When there's no one around. You know what I'm saying?
What up, cuz?
What up, DJ? A refreshing beverage. Thank you very much.
It's needed. What's that? Strawberry banana smoothie?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's looking pretty good.
Very good.
Okay. I mean, you need more than I do.
My compliments to the chef.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. It's looking pretty good.
So to continue, of course we got other stuff we're gonna talk about, but you know what we always get into first?
Yeah.
Our weeks. So before I get into my shit, there is something that I do want to discuss briefly. Because I saw something, I think it was Wednesday, that really, like, it's stuff that I already knew was happening, but I feel like for a show called The Black Culture Geeks, this needs to be stressed even more.
Sure.
So I'm just going to read a portion of this article here, and you'll get the gist of what I'm going on about. One of the most controversial topics being argued across the political aisle today involves state lawmakers and politicians who have combined efforts to ensure that African American history courses stay out of the classroom. Across the nation, historians, educators, parents, and others are protesting that Black history deserves to be taught and not just relegated to 1 month of the year. University of Buffalo professor LaGarrett King is the director for the Center of K-12 Black History and Racial Literacy Education. He believes that teaching Black history is important because it allows children to see humanity in each other. At last count, 44 states has started debating whether to introduce bills that would limit what schools can teach about Black history. The thing, critical race theory, is the thing that intimidates them. The concept explores the idea that racism isn't just a byproduct of bias, hate, and discrimination, but also embedded in the legal, political, and sociological framework of this country. As a result, advanced placement Black history courses are being watered down to accommodate this perpetual insecurity that the truth may be exposed to those who don't know it or simply cannot handle it. Now,
you can't handle the truth.
So it's important, in my view, for this to be tackled on at least two fronts, politically and personally. See, my kids are grown,
right?
And they know what happened here in the country, right here in this country, and say it with me, folks, our families.
Sex.
Because you see, ever since they turned the lights on in this place, a key element necessary to keep Black people befuddled, out of power, confused, or rudderless is to separate us from our families.
Yeah.
Or even the idea of family.
Yeah.
These days, you hear a lot about how messed up the Black family unit is. It's that talking point has been used as a weapon, a spear to throw at us to discredit our value every chance they get, and a shield to hide the hands of a government that was complicit in the destruction of our families in the first place. We got separated from our African family. Then once we got here, they separated the families we made here by selling spouses and children to other plantations. This is part of the history, by the way, that they don't want you to know about.
Right.
Now they want to separate you from your family history by first telling you that what happened to those people back then has nothing to do with you now. Oh, and by the way, forget about those Africans because they don't really like you all. And anyway, you have much more in common with us now than you do with them. Now, politically, as long as your ass is here, you need to fight them at the ballot box. But also, like I said, personally, you need to make sure your kids understand their history or they will erase it and water down the struggle our family had when they got violated, which is another form of violation in and of itself. And those of you, I've had this conversation, seen this actually for a couple of months on different posts on social media. Those of us in my community that say we shouldn't worry about the legislation part of this, you're dumb.
That doesn't make.
You're dumb.
Make sense.
Well, see, this is their argument. We should be teaching this in our homes. Sure, but
that's not.
Here's the thing.
So, all right. So, in schooling is very important.
Is it now?
Now, when I say schooling, I'm not necessarily talking about college.
Exactly.
I'm not necessarily talking about getting a college degree, even though for some reasons that could be important, depending on who you are, what you want to do, and blah blah blah.
Trying to do with your life, right?
But I'll just give it a very, very basic example. Any parents worth their salt and who have the means to do so should be teaching their children to read.
Of course.
At an early age.
Before they even start.
Before school is a thing. They should be teaching their children how to read. Right? Books, even now videos and all that. That does not mean that
they shouldn't go.
Child walk into school knowing how to read Dr. Seuss books. That the teacher's just like, oh, we don't need to worry about.
They handle that at home. We don't got
the fuck. What are you talking,
bro? It is the dumbest idea, and it's also delusional, right? Because, we can teach our kids some of the history at home, sure, but all 47 million Black people over here are not going to be in a position to homeschool.
But not even that. You weren't taught these things in school.
No.
And if you didn't go out of your way to learn them otherwise, what do you want to teach your children?
Exactly. And let's call a spade a spade. A lot of the people in our community, they did not go out and learn these things. They absolutely did not, because there's such thing as reward and penalty, and societal reward and penalty. Society doesn't reward you for going out and learning about your history. No, I don't reward you for that. So a lot of people get caught up with the everyday. I go to work, I take care of this, blah, blah. I know how to read, know how to count, and that's it. And whatever history they do know about has been the homogenized, watered down version that everybody knows, the ambient information that everybody knows. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Benjamin Franklin, that sort of thing. Like, if you guys want to play dumb and not focus on the legislation part, especially locally, especially the school boards, you run the risk of one day waking up in the country where someone can ask, hey, did you know that blacks used to be enslaved here? Only for someone to answer, yeah, but it wasn't that bad. Plus, they learned to cook and stuff out of it. That's where that's going to be headed, because that's where groups, 44 states, my guy. Yeah. 44 states. This ain't just about Florida.
Nah.
It's not. It's not just about Florida. But, y'all gonna do what you want to do. But you can't say the Black Culture Geek Show didn't warn you.
Yeah, bro.
You can't say we didn't warn you.
The lack of logic here is astounding.
It's horrible. It's horrible. Now,
what are you talking about?
What a lot of you guys,
I'm so glad I haven't seen that in the streets, because
most of the time, where do you see that? You see it online, right? In comment sections. You say, y'all, and they think they're saying something really blackety black by saying that. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're saying
you don't know shit.
Stupid.
What are you going to teach?
Right. You don't know.
What are you talking? You're dumb. Like, what are you for the fact that you think that this is a valid valid fix shows that you're inept.
You're delusional. You really are. Schools are important. The educational process in the country is important. Right. It's an apparatus that has been in place for a while. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But
it's necessary.
If you look at the rates of literacy, even though it's horrible here in the United States, but if you look at how they were before there was a public school system, it was terrible. It was horrible, right? But anyway, we'll get off of that. Don't say we ain't say something, because we did. Yeah. I need to ask McKenna, what's the temperature down there in Florida currently, McKenna? I mean, I could look it up, but I feel like, I need somebody that's there. I really do. Because we've been rather fortunate, at least for the last 3 days. Hasn't really been dog shit hot outside.
No, it's been decent.
It's been fairly decent.
Yeah.
For summer. August even.
Matter of fact, I think, to be fit like this, like last night, I was like, I might need to turn this AC down a little bit.
Listen, it got down to 59.
Yeah.
Last night. And it is only now currently at 11:12.
Dangerously.
It's 73 degrees. It's only 73 degrees though. It'd be noon soon. So but however, that's gonna change tomorrow and Monday.
For sure. Absolutely.
McKenna says it is 112 degrees. Dangerously humid. But you know what? As bad as that is, what I am fairly certain is that in McKenna's home right now, she has some sort of central air, an air conditioning unit, something to keep her cool.
I mean, it would stand to reason.
See, I'm glad you said that. It would stand to reason. Because we are all supposed to be rational people. We're supposed to reason.
Sure.
Homo sapien. Thinking ape. Sentient. That's what we us.
Yeah.
But what if I told you that not all of us have AC?
I don't believe you.
I know. And on any ordinary time, I would tell you, you're right. I'm just trolling. Except for I'm not.
Oh, yikes.
For the 4th year in a row since we've been here during the summer, our HVAC.
Yo, you just gotta laugh about it, because what else? Like, if Tim didn't feel like laughing about it, Tim wouldn't have made the show today.
Right. Right. Because currently in here, it's hotter than I like. And you guys can't hear it, thankfully. But I got a fan blowing in my goddamn face. The idea that a modern family in 2023, in the hottest month of the summer, for 4 years straight, has lost the capability of controlling the climate in their homes is outlandish, outrageous, egregious. And yet this is where we find ourselves today.
The root word in outlandish is land for Landon. So here's the thing.
It's also land for and landlord.
Well, sure. That's true. That's true too. That's true too. Listen, I just assumed it was a healthy assumption at the time that I made it. I just assumed that since they got y'all new shit.
Oh, damn. It's the new, new. Let's talk about new for a second, because some people might be confused by that term, but we're going to do our due diligence. I'm going to consult, because technology is wonderful thing. I'm just going to consult the AI.
Sure.
Really quickly. The word new is an adjective that can mean several things, including not existing before, not previously used or owned, already existing, but seen, experienced, or acquired recently, or now for the first time, unfamiliar or strange to, and of course, just beginning or beginning anew and regarded as better than what went before. Now, there are at least 2 of these definitions that are supposed to apply to that motherfucking HVAC machine. At least 2 of those. Not previously used or owned, and just beginning anew, regarded as better than what went before.
Correct.
Except no, that's not the case. And again, the landlord. All right. You know what's crazy about that is that fairly recently I have been seeing arguments against landlords in general, the concept of it. I've been seeing it all on my social media shit. I've seen it on TikTok. And I didn't really delve into any of it because it wasn't my field of interest. Sure. I don't know what people were talking about. But I think I must now, because there's obviously some validity. Now, at the risk of sounding redundant, I lived in the projects, y'all.
Well, what up, sis?
Someone said
the name of the episode is Petty Days.
What's up, sis?
No, you're the person who is renting that domicile to you is just a high class slumlord.
Apparently, because you see, I've had a good landlord before.
Yeah, they exist.
They 100% exist. His name was Peter. This is when we were living in Asgard. I mean, Laurel.
You was right the first time.
and when I say a great landlord, because you know what he was? He was smart enough to realize he couldn't do everything. So what he did was get a management company to periodically come, maybe twice a year, and check things out.
Yeah.
To try to stave off any potential hazards that could take place that would require a lot of money to fix or replace, and our inconvenience as tenants who pay their rent on time every motherfucking month. Peter was such a good landlord that when we told him we were moving, he begged us to stay and even said, is there anything I can do to keep you guys here? Why? Because it must be hard as fuck to find tenants that pay their motherfucking
No,
rent.
it's not just that. It's hard to find good tenants. I'm uniquely
qualified to speak on this.
Yeah, because I've only worked for a leasing agency for the last 16 years. It is very difficult to find tenants who pay their rent when they're supposed to pay their rent, behave, and aren't like behave as far as inside the unit is concerned, and behave as far as outside the unit is concerned.
Yes.
So yes, that is it's a very difficult thing because it's not that everybody is trash. It's that everybody has different ways they look at things.
I disagree.
No, I'm not. Hold on. No. I did not say everybody is not trash.
Oh, okay.
I said it's not that everybody. That's not what the issue is. It's true. It's just not what the issue is in this situation.
Right.
It's just that people have different thoughts of what different things mean. So you end up in those situations, like for instance, if you have if you have the rule of every person above the age of 18 has to be on the lease.
Right.
The thing with that is, if you happen to have somebody living with you that's not on the lease, it could be fine.
Right.
The problem is when people start bringing unwanted attention to their situation. Now it's like, oh no, you clearly have somebody that's not on the lease living there, and maybe we need to change that.
I subrent. This was years ago. My brother didn't even live at this place anymore. He moved and lived someplace else, but he still kept that. So I just waltzed right in and continued to pay thing, and no harm, no foul.
Yeah,
no harm, no foul. You know why?
Yeah,
because he wasn't in that motherfucker using it as a bowling alley.
Yeah, right. You understood what the situation was.
Yeah.
I had an issue with a roommate before. Nigga ain't have a job at the time. He was making money other ways. So I knew he had
a lemonade stand.
Hey, listen. So I knew he had the money.
Yes,
he had the money to pay the rent. That wasn't
of course he did.
Yeah, he had the money to pay the rent, but he didn't have a job. So
he
couldn't put him on the lease.
What Marlon refers to as a J.I. Skaboodly. Yeah, he had it.
So I didn't put him on the lease. At first, this nigga was cool.
Right.
But eventually, this nigga just decided to go to the rental office and make a complaint. Sir, they don't know who the fuck you are.
Who's that?
They don't know who you are. What are you talking about? Luckily, the person that he talked to, I was actually cool with. So it didn't end up being an issue. But sir,
what are you doing?
What are you doing? Why would you? I explained this to you very clearly.
That's crazy.
But,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's again, and to continue the story. You know the old saying that one definition for insanity is when you continue to do the exact same thing but expect a different result.
Yeah.
That definition is what applies here, because once again, instead of getting someone who knows what the fuck they're doing because this is what they do by trade, he once again got another family member to come Now, to be fair, and believe me, I don't want to be after 4 summers.
Facts.
This particular family member did work in that field.
That's
right?
something.
And the analysis that he gave was the exact same one that the warranty insurance people gave, right? There is a part that fucked up and it disconnected the fan part on the unit outside from the shit in here for whatever technical reason that I am not qualified to explain in detail. Which means it needs to get another part from the company that made it. Here's the thing. It's on back order. So we won't see that part for 4 to 5 weeks. Summer will be over.
Bruh.
So basically, we're in a hot house for the rest of the summer. Unless we force him, like we did last time, to pay for hotels. The issue with that is, if we do this, if he tries that horse shit that he did last time with that bullshit one around the corner from where I live, no bueno, it's not happening. The bed in that hotel, horrible. But even worse than that, you know, we allegedly went there to escape the heat, right? But when we got there, guess what happened? Their shit went out. Oh, wait, there's more. The water went out.
Oh.
Yeah. No water, no AC.
You gotta add some razzle dazzle to it.
Razzle dazzle?
A little razzle dazzle.
I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to razzle dazzle. No AC and no running fucking water.
Oh, God. That's disrespectful.
Yeah. On so many levels. Now, they did eventually get it back up after a couple of days, but god damn it, what the fuck? What the entire fuck? So I am, to say the least, a bit miffed. I am usually in a state of grumpiness.
Oh,
that's usual.
Understatement much? Usually. Fuck you. Whatever.
It's a mild current.
No, I'll let you have it.
Grumpiness.
No, I'll let you have it because you're in this situation.
But now, I am intolerable.
Okay.
And it's going to be that way for much longer than when we get that part because I'm mad.
Sure. Deservedly.
So all I can say is, here's the other thing about this too. So we have a lease. So it's not like without us paying a shit ton of money, we can just fuck it. We can go someplace else. We tired of this shit here. No, we're kind of locked in. Remember when I said earlier that there's possibly some positivity to come out on the other end of this? That was mostly cap. But
all right, so tell us this gray lining.
Yeah, it's gray.
Definitely not so.
It's not so. It's definitely gray. All I can say is, in order for me to be able to do that, I need my audience, my entire audience, buy a book, support the Patreon. When the new Kickstarter, we do the new Kickstarter campaign, October come, support that. Share the comic book, do everything, help us get our numbers up with that. And who knows, in another year, I might be in a position to go, fuck you, I'm out. But if that don't happen, yeah, we in here like swimwear.
You should be wearing swimwear,
right,
nigga.
And I have, unfortunately, no expectation that this won't happen again next year. I have no expectation of that. Where that should be the opposite. That's not something you would. Right. But after being here 4 years, and it's happened every summer. Every summer.
Yeah. Don't break the keyboard.
Shit.
Yeah. That's despicable.
You know what else is bad about that too? And I know this is toxic.
Oh God.
So the guy that y'all know, this is the me today. This is not the me 20 years ago.
Sure.
It's not right. But when shit like this happens, that guy, from back then, starts whispering in the back of my fucking head.
I get it.
Yo, that motherfucker come over here.
That.
I'm just saying, he whispers. Jack his ass up against the fucking wall, put your forearm against his fucking throat, and tell him, yo, get this shit right or get us some air conditioners in this bitch.
Right.
But that's that guy from back then.
Yeah.
And one thing I know about him, he can talk all the shit he want, but when he went to jail, he hated it. All right?
Facts. All right? Facts. We can't bring him out.
You know what I'm saying? He hated it too. He ain't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? He ain't like that. But yeah, as a result of this, of course, you know, my wife has owned some chinchillas for like, I think 2 years. 2 chinchillas. They had to be removed from the home.
Yeah.
Because the temperature not conducive to them. They had cardiac arrest in this motherfucker.
Right.
Now, thankfully, because she runs a veterinarian office, she took them down there.
Yeah.
And they have impeccable AC.
Oh, I'm certain.
Just 15 minutes away, sir. Yeah. 15 minutes away.
I'm certain the chinchillas might be cold.
They're chilling. They're chin chilling.
Stop. I knew it. I saw it. I saw it over the horizon. I couldn't get there in time.
You saw it from over the horizon. And I promise you.
Oh, God.
You niggas got nothing to celebrate. Look. That was my week. Court adjourned.
Yikes. Listen. You know what? Nothing I say is going to make it better. So let's just move on. I was about to attempt, but then I thought about there's nothing I can say.
And tomorrow will be 90.
Oh, yeah.
And then Monday will be 95.
Again, there's nothing I can say. All right. I don't even know where to start now after all that. So I guess I'll start with my complaint that I'm about to make seems incredibly minuscule in comparison. Fuck it, I'm gonna just get it over
here, bro. I
get it. I get it. All right. So I've been on a roll for a long time with the food delivery people.
Stop.
I've been on a roll.
That's a bar right there.
Yeah,
that's really a bar.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's what happens. But there always has to be one anomaly every now and then to keep you appreciating the ones that do right. You know, if it was nothing but flawlessness, at some point I would probably take it for granted. But this one has to happen every now and then just to keep me level-headed, to keep me appreciative of the ones that
I really hate that you have to experience trauma.
I hate that it's real
thing.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, like
I really
why does my brain work like that? Like, bro,
I think it happened. I think it kind of works like that for most people.
Yeah.
Contrast, they don't.
Yeah.
We are a broken species, man.
Oh, bro, don't even
broken.
Don't get me started. Oh well, a lot of this today is going to show just that. But so I ordered breakfast today. This is fresh. This is
this is new shit.
Yeah, this particular place is literally up the street and around the corner from me.
Oh shit!
They have great food, and it normally gets here very quickly. When I say quickly, I'm talking by the time I get the first notification that the driver has my order. Yeah. Generally, the driver's here.
Yeah. Food is up.
There's only one traffic light between me and this place. The reason I ever The reason I ever even bothered to order it, though, instead of going to get it, is because I'm usually doing something. So I'm just trying to be as efficient as possible with time. Because it really wouldn't be like if I wasn't doing anything. Like if this was a Sunday morning, I'd have probably just went and got it.
It's easy like Sunday morning. Yeah.
I mean, okay. Anyway, so I get the notification that the driver has the food. She immediately sends me a message. Now, to remind y'all, on all of the food delivery apps, I only use two, that I have, my instructions are to bring the food to my apartment door, and I give them the main door code. The message she sends me asks me if I can meet her just outside of the main door. So I'm sitting in this chair. I get up. I go to the apartment door where the panel is to buzz the people in and shit. And I respond to her in the message. The main door is open. As I send that, I hold the button to buzz the door open. Now I'm holding the button for literally a minute. Right. Literally. And before I let go, I get a notification that my food has been delivered. In the picture, my food is on the steps outside of the main door. In the notes that the driver left, she said there was no place to park, so she left the food outside. Here's the thing. It's one thing if you're just lazy and don't want to climb the stairs and you don't give a reason as to why you didn't follow the instructions.
Right.
Depending on the situation, all you lose from that is nothing, actually. I may have to report that I never got my food, but that doesn't come out of the driver's money.
You do have stairs, so yeah, I can see that.
I mean, sure, but that don't come out of the driver's money if I report that I didn't get my food.
Right.
But why would you blatantly lie?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. Yeah. I now have to come downstairs to get my food. I can plainly see that there is not a single car parked on the other side of the street. And that there is a huge parking spot on my side of the street, right next to where the building ends. So now you done got reported.
Yeah.
And I done took your tip away.
Yeah.
Like, it's simply not worth the lie.
But you asked for that.
Right. It's not worth the lie. Also, I hate to say it like this, but I don't know you.
I don't know you,
I don't owe you niceness.
Hell no.
I owe you not to be mean until you no longer have my food in your possession.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I will not choose to leave my apartment. You're going to have to make me. And if you do, there's going to be consequences. It's just that simple. Like, what the hell? Like, what is going on? Like, what was the point of that lie? Like,
he said,
no, you had to make me. You had to make it so that I absolutely have to leave the apartment.
Wow.
Yeah, no, you had to make me. And if you make me, there's going to be consequences for you.
Wow.
It's just that simple. Like, I'm not about to argue with you. If she
No, that's the other thing. I'm not finna do that.
Yeah, like I sent the message. She never responded to the message. She just left the food, took a picture, and dipped. All right, bet. So now you've been reported and you don't have your tip.
What I hate about that part is I've ordered food here, and unlike where I used to live at, where it was so I don't know what it was, man. Maybe it was just a joy for people to come to that neighborhood. Even though it was a winding road, they had to go around. It must have been a joy to come there because they never were late. They never put it in the wrong spot. None of that shit. Here, motherfuckers will order, like they'll bring the order to somebody else's house and then swear by God it was the right place. And I'm looking there on the board. Fool, we don't live there. I'm standing in the doorway. There's no food here.
Yo, listen. I ain't gonna hold you. The few times that somebody has left my food at other places, I'm just reporting that I never got the food and then walking to go get it. I ain't gonna hold you. Either I'm gonna get my money back or I'm gonna get another meal.
Right.
For free. Because no, you didn't do your job. You had one job. You didn't have to cook it. You had one job.
No, you didn't have to pluck the chicken.
Bruh.
You didn't have to do shit. You had to do shit. All you had to do was grab the bag, look at the address, and drive it here. That's it.
Very simple.
And listen, I'm the first one to tell you, there's honor in all work.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to denigrate you.
No.
Because of what you do for a living, because obviously it's needed.
I mean, honestly, half of these people, I ain't gonna say half, but a good portion of these people, it's not what they do for a living. They do
it's extra supplemental money, right? Yeah. I'm not going to denigrate you. Oh, they're just a delivery driver. No. But I do expect you to have the same level of professionalism with that.
That's it.
As a doctor or a lawyer or a CEO of a company or the producer of a fucking podcast, I expect a certain level of professionalism.
Well, here's the thing. I can separate those jobs from this job. But the only reason it's not because it's a delivery driver job. It's because it's a job in which your money comes from tips.
Also, they're supposed to be better than the
right. Like you get money from the company, sure, but you also get money from tips.
Yeah.
Why would
the company is more than likely fucking you over?
Absolutely,
because you're getting tips. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I didn't do delivery, but I worked in restaurants.
Right.
My first job, I was a bus boy.
Yeah.
And the salary, hourly wage, if you will, was lower than the state supposed salary.
Oh no,
because you got tips.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Why would you lie? And it's like the lie that they tell when they say the door code didn't work. That is something that for most people they wouldn't be able to prove that you were lying. Right. I know you're lying for a very specific reason that I can't share on the show, but I get that lie. That lie makes the most sense.
Right.
It's still stupid. Again,
still dumb.
I know that you're lying.
Right.
But whatever. Why would you tell this particular lie? Again, you left my food outside. So I have to come outside.
And the fact that you have to come outside
means I can see the fucking parking spots. The entire opposite side of the street. There is not a single car parked. Not one. He's talking about, I couldn't find it in the car. So I left the food outside. What? What are you talking about? It's okay. So conversely, maybe, tell me if I'm tripping or not. Maybe it just was the case that all the cars were there, and then in the time it took for me to walk from my apartment door to the main door, all of them pulled off.
Or you could have been experiencing observer effect. The cars are only there when you're not looking. The moment you look, all the cars are gone.
All right.
That's quantum weirdness for your ass.
Bruh. Like, what? Let me see. What's next? Okay, so I got an epiphany.
Uh-oh. And what's the name?
Hate it. Shut up. I hate it when people assume familiarity. But I love it when people assume familiarity. Now, what do I mean? I hate when people assume, as in an assumption, that you'll just be okay with things they do that affect you. It boils my skin. But I love when people who are in the appropriate position, as in assume the position. Don't do the extra stuff when they do something that affects you.
Yeah.
Like I like that. I like that. And it's not about whether it's okay or not for that person to do this thing. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I want people to take advantage of me, clearly.
Right.
For example, if I'm sitting somewhere and a person needs to get something that I might be in the way of, there are 4 options. You could just get the thing. Mm-hmm. You could not get the thing. Mm-hmm. You could ask me to give it to you, or you can ask me to move. It's pretty much your 4 options. Honestly, in work situations, most of the time, I don't have an issue with any of these options. Like, because we're at work. My issue comes in if you aren't somebody I rock with, and you assume that I'd just be okay with you violating my space. But if you are somebody I rock with, heavy, then it gives me this weird sense of calm, knowing that you know these things are okay for you to do.
Right. You know you can do that.
And that if the roles were reversed, you'd be okay with it as well.
Right.
That works for me. I like that.
Got you.
But if we don't rock, I don't care.
We don't even pebble.
Okay.
Like you can't.
I don't care. It's not the point. Is that it is okay for you to do it. The point is that you assume that it's okay for you to do it,
and you shouldn't.
Why
do you? Why do you assume that?
It doesn't make sense, especially if we don't rock with each other.
Yeah,
like
that's facts.
Like why would what? Anyway, so yeah, that's that. Another thing. I'm in vacation mode. And it's
whoa. I need to ask. Houseway. You're not on vacation.
I'm going to explain. I'm in vacation mode, and it is a terrible way to live. The way that I experience it. A week before every vacation, life gets different for me. Like, things don't tend to bother me as much, which is a good thing. That's great. That's a positive. I'll take that all day. But also, my desire to do things and my drive in general take a dip. It's just I was supposed to wash clothes last weekend.
How'd that go?
That shit ain't happen. I've been supposed to make a video for this past week. That shit ain't happen. I was supposed to have a photo shoot Tuesday. Leading up to it, I was hoping for some reason that it would get canceled. And then I woke up Tuesday morning and it was supposed to be rainy. And I was so happy to text her and tell her that we had to do it another day. Now, of course, I was mad when it actually didn't rain.
Right.
But not as mad as I normally would be. There is this song that I'm supposed to be working on that I have not touched this week.
Yo, I swear I hate but you know what? Sometimes, bro, honestly, if it's not a case of that you've been just too busy to do it, sometimes this is your brain needing some space.
This shit happens every vacation.
Oh, damn.
Every vacation. The week leading up is just no. It's a whole thing. The only thing
maybe your brain took a vacation earlier.
Maybe. The only thing I've really been able to make any progress on is the comic universe stuff.
Yes.
But not much, because in the times that I've worked on it, I didn't have much time to work on it.
Yeah.
So
I'm still in the second editing phase of the one story. And going over dial. I'm still I haven't touched it in about 3 days now because my brain needed some space from it.
Yeah. No, I mean that's real. But all that being said, I'm extremely excited. My last day of work is Tuesday. We leave Thursday morning, and we come back Monday. If Tim is up for it, next week's show will be just like the show when I was in Atlanta. I would definitely be on for a bit. Chrissy will be with me, so she'll likely show up. If I'll try to get Fab to show his face. We'll see how that turns out. Creative Justin EP still streaming, and it's available on Bandcamp.
Just assume that it's always me. It's funny that you say that because I put together a 1 minute, I believe, clip of the song "They Don't Fuck With You." I just haven't uploaded it anywhere yet. But it has the album art and the words at the bottom, doing what the words do at the bottom.
Thanks.
And I haven't, but that song has weighed heavily on my brain,
bruh.
For the last few weeks. You know what I'm saying?
The Multi-World playlist is live on Spotify.
It's
live. You can just search it up, Multi-World Music. That's it. That's all you got to do on Spotify. Just search that.
What up, Cosmic?
What up? To work. So there is. I'm trying to think of how to describe her. Either very stupid or very thinks she's smarter than everybody else. Spoiler alert, both things are the same.
I was about to say.
I'm not gonna go over everything she's done to this point, but the shit that happened this week just takes the cake. I get a text from my supervisor who's not my supervisor. She asked me if I'm visiting a particular office that day. I tell her that I am, and I ask her what's wrong. She tells me they don't have internet or phone and that somebody in maintenance unplugged something. She asked me how soon I could get there. I was about 15 minutes away. I said I'll be there soon. She said, thank you. I get there. And the first thing out of this particular agent's mouth, the one I was talking about in the beginning of this, is, James, that's my daughter.
Congrats.
What's the issue? The issue is this agent and I are the only two people in the office.
Wow.
I'm confused, and I asked her what she was talking about. Apparently, her daughter had just left the office right before I came in.
And you didn't even...
I didn't.
Of course you didn't.
Didn't notice. See, she's one of those super bubbly, hate silence type of people.
So, how I despise.
Oh, bruh. So now she's telling me about the issue, which would be fine if this was her reporting the issue to me, but more on how that's not the case a little bit later. So she follows me into the room where the computer is, and she is hovering over me, running her mouth as I'm looking at what the issue is. I have a checklist that helps me troubleshoot in my head. Right. Checklist in my head that helps me troubleshoot. I look at the phone, modem, and the firewall. The lights are off. They aren't plugged in. I say out loud to her that they are unplugged, right? I say this to her. Her phone rings. Her cell phone rings. She goes to get it. While she's gone, I plug those two devices in properly because the internet modem was not unplugged. So when I plugged the firewall in, the internet started working instantly. The phone modem was a different story. Y'all know when you plug in a modem, it takes a little while before it actually starts.
Yeah, it takes a little minute.
So the agent comes back into the room. I'm in with the person who called her on speaker. She tells them that the service went down. She had somebody from maintenance try to help fix it. That didn't work. So she called my supervisor, who's not my supervisor, and she let me know. Let's go back. If you did this, why did you feel it was necessary to try and tell me what was going on when I come through the door? Because you just said you called my supervisor, who's not my supervisor, and the result of that call was her calling me. So clearly I know what's going on. So why did you deem it necessary to... Okay, whatever.
Annoying.
So the person on the phone had called Comcast for her previously, not when she's on the... Not when she just called. Had called Comcast for her previously and is trying to explain to her that the issue is likely that something is unplugged. Now, mind you, I said that to her before she left the room. She still doesn't understand. She asked the person she's on the phone with if they want to speak with me. The person says, and I'm glad that they were on speaker. The person says, no. James knows what he's doing. Like he knows the setup just as well as anybody else. He kind of put it there. And
so what was she trying to?
I think she's just dumb. Like, here's the thing: the worst case scenario is she's specifically sabotaging things so she doesn't have to work. I don't think that's the case. It is not. I'm not ruling it out. I just don't personally think that's the case.
Okay.
What happened, from what I could gather, is she was sitting at the desk. She kicked the surge protector and unplugged those two things.
Yeah.
For some reason, she didn't put two and two together. She told the maintenance dude that there was an issue. For some reason, he couldn't plug the fucking plugs back in. And again, I'm sorry. Let me be clear. When I say unplugged, I'm not talking about Ethernet wires, fiber wires. I'm talking about cords, power cords. I'm talking about they were unplugged from the surge protector.
Right.
There's no knowledge you have to have in order to do this correctly. There's no specific setup. You just got to put it back into the outlet.
Right. Right.
And between the two of them, neither of them could do it. I have to assume you're dumb. like, because what up, Cindy? Because it's one thing.
Hey, Cindy.
If the maintenance man wasn't involved, I would give more credence to her doing this on purpose.
Right.
But because the other person was involved,
it kind of lends itself to
y'all just dumb.
You dumb?
Like, how do you not understand how to put your maintenance? How do you not know how to plug up a
He's new.
No, that doesn't. I just have to assume you're dumb. I just have to. Like, I don't.
Well, here's the thing. Unfortunately for you, that assumption can be made and multiplied by a lot of the people that you're going to come into contact with. Now, true, it is especially egregious that you are a maintenance person, right? Like that's
plug in the power.
That's the same.
The power cord.
You being a doctor and not knowing how to take someone's temperature.
Or not. Like here's the thing. Them not understanding that, them not knowing what the devices on the counter that they're looking at, not knowing what those are,
right?
Fine.
Understandable. Yeah.
Fine. Absolutely fine.
Gotcha.
But they're cords, they're power cords. The worst part about it is when I got to them, they weren't out of the sockets completely. One of them was partially in the outlet, and the other one, it was a power brick, and that was partially disconnected, as if they were just trying not to apply too much pressure.
Right.
What the fuck is wrong with? Okay, never mind. Moving on. So also, this one isn't something that necessarily happened this week, but it all came full circle. It doesn't directly affect me, really, just tangentially. This is one of the few times I'm going to make up names because there are so many people involved that it may be a bit hard to keep up with otherwise.
Names were changed to protect the infamous,
nigger,
or names were changed to protect the ignorant.
I mean, both. So the newest person to become a manager at my job. Let's call him. Boss. No, that has no. I have no connection. The newest person to become a manager. Let's call him Bill. Bill's a manager under Tim. Tim, for years, has not been doing his job.
Damn.
At least not consistently.
Right.
For the first 10 years or so that I worked there, Tim had these two agents that pretty much ran his jobs for him, but they were not managers. When I say ran his jobs for him, I mean he literally didn't have to do anything except the things that he was legally required to do because they weren't managers.
Right.
Eventually, an agent or two joined the company who were quick learners, and the first two agents that I talked about trained them. So once those first two agents started becoming managers,
right,
Tim still had people to make him look good.
Okay.
So he still wasn't doing anything. At some point, Tim got a promotion. And it kind of coincided with those first two agents becoming managers.
Right.
So they still ended up being under him. Now, only one of them is under him now, and the other one went to another property. Insert Bill. Bill is terrible at his job.
Damn.
There are so many things that he doesn't know, and he doesn't seem to care to know.
Oh, damn.
Now, I don't know if it's that he feels like nothing can happen to him, or if he legitimately thinks he knows what he's doing. I kind of feel like it's the second one, because he acted like this before he was a manager. So before he had any power or any reason to think he was untouchable, this was his behavior. So I'm pretty sure he just thinks he knows what he's doing. Now, one of the things that is super bittersweet about my company in general is that corporate isn't really big on micromanaging.
Yeah,
it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. They put who they believe are qualified and competent people in place and let them do their jobs.
Right.
But this example is a perfect example of this backfiring. Because of how managers are judged, Tim comes out looking like the most amazing manager in the world without having to lift a finger. So when he goes to promote Bill, his bosses trust his judgment.
Right.
Also, Tim is allowed to make other stupid decisions that he's making based on his 2 decades of managing, which for at least a decade and a half, he didn't really do. Now, it's not like he can just make a big decision unilaterally.
Right.
But because of how well his jobs have been run and how long he's been with the company, why wouldn't a good boss trust his judgment?
Like, sure.
What was the genius decision that he made?
Yeah.
Before I get into it, let me say that the reasons for doing what he did, I'm not fully aware of because I never asked. I do know that on the surface, there are at least 2 to 3 good reasons to have done what he did.
Interesting.
There are at least 2 to 3 good reasons. What made the decision stupid is how it was executed. So there was a manager at the property that Bill manages. When that manager was there, Bill was an agent. Things worked like dominoes at my job. A senior manager from elsewhere was retiring, so Bill's manager took that person's place, and Bill took the manager's place.
Right.
This place is a 2-agent property. So when Bill became a manager, they needed another agent. And they either got the agent right before Bill became a manager or right after Bill became a manager. I don't remember which one. So you had Bill as the manager with Tim above him, and Bill has 2 agents. Right. Well, one of the agents that Bill had has been with the company longer than I have. The other agent is relatively new. All of that backstory was imperative. I know it was a lot, but it was necessary. So there were issues at this job. I don't know what they were. That ain't my business to know or tell. Simultaneously, though, an agent from another job under Tim got a promotion and was taken away from him. So what did Tim do? He moved the newer agent that Bill had from Bill to his other job. When they did that, they hired a new agent to replace her.
Okay.
Then they sent the agent who's been with the company longer than I have to another job. So at this point, you now have the newest manager in the entire company, Bill, who still doesn't know his fucking job, with the newest agent in the entire company.
Right.
And that person is his only agent at a job that requires 2 agents.
Yeah, this is a little...
What?
Yeah.
Why would you allow him to make this decision?
It makes 0 sense.
Like, I'm just...
It makes 0 sense.
And here's the thing. This isn't anything about that agent. He's a cool dude. He's seemingly a fast learner. But...
Yeah, but he's not
I really
Flash.
don't think he should be... right.
Yeah.
What? Then on top of all of that, 3 weeks into the setup, 3 weeks into this current configuration, my supervisor is not my supervisor, who is someone who has nothing to do with the online application program, gets an email from someone who has nothing to do with IT, who got a call from Tim that the new agent needs a login for the online application system. Again, this is after 3 weeks of him being at that place as the only rental agent.
Jeez.
What?
Yeah.
Why do y'all feel like, first of all, why are you calling all the wrong people? You know who you're supposed to call for this, but you just didn't. And then that person, again, knows who to call for this, but she just didn't. What? So, yeah, that's just a cautionary tale of the situation in which you don't micromanage. Because yes, in general, the fact that they don't micromanage is a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, typically that's what you see that as. It's like you're not over there holding people's hand, and simultaneously you're not getting in the way.
Correct. But in situations like Tim needs to retire. Because nobody important enough is ever going to know or believe that he doesn't know what he's doing because he hasn't done his job.
Right.
He hasn't done his job in years. So nobody's going to believe that he doesn't know what he's doing because his jobs run so smoothly.
Right.
And it's like, please just retire. Just go away.
One of the things though, because like if you are in a situation like a job, you've been there for years, but you really haven't had to do a lot because the way the manpower is set up or the talents of the people that may be under you or around you. So they take care of a lot of that shit and you don't. So you look good in that position, but you don't really know how to do some of these key things. I've actually seen this take place in other types of jobs where, you know, the expectation for one of the people that has some authority around there is that they've done some of this work. But the reality of the situation is not necessarily, especially
and even if they did, it's been so long.
Right. They haven't done it in a long time. And there's a level of ring rust that comes when you don't do shit for a long period of time.
1,000%. Oh, matter of fact, those 2 agents that ran everything for him, he didn't even train them. Somebody else trained them. But anyway, I digress. In my department, my boss does not know everything that my supervisor, who's not my supervisor, knows, who does not know everything that I know, right? But it's 3 of us, and we work together. So if it's something that my boss don't know, either my supervisor, who's not my supervisor, knows, or I know. If it's something my supervisor, who's not my supervisor, doesn't know, either my boss know or I know. Like,
makes sense.
That's how that's supposed to work. But anyway, whatever. Dumbasses of the week. we got more than one again. All right, this first one is
you could literally have as many as you wanted every week, bro. Like every week.
So this first one is this post. It's likely fake, but I've been seeing it for at least 2 years, every now and then, randomly. It's a picture of a pie. I don't know what kind, but the top is completely burned. And here's the caption. My grandmother always cooked tasty food, but one day she put a burnt pie in front of my grandpa. Not just a little burnt, but black as coal. I waited to see what my grandpa would say, but he just ate the pie and asked how my day was. Then I heard my grandmother apologize to him for his dinner. I'll never forget his response. Dear, I like your pie. Later, I asked him if he had told the truth. He put his arm on my shoulder and said, your grandma had a tough day at work. She was tired. The burnt pie didn't harm me, but a sharp word could have hurt her. We all make mistakes. We shouldn't focus on mistakes, but support those we love. Shut the fuck up. For several reasons. For several reasons. Because here's the thing. Your grandmother had a hard day at work. Absolutely possible. 1,000% possible, because we know how working conditions are in this country.
Work.
Yeah, absolutely. but there's a pie in the oven. Like there's food in the oven. So either she wouldn't have forgotten that, or your lazy ass could have gotten goddamn pie out the oven before it burned.
So let's not concern ourselves with you saying that a harsh word, a sharp word could have. Let's concern ourselves with the fact that your ass didn't get up.
Right.
And get the pie out the oven.
Bruh. Like, come on.
Let's talk. Let's get into that.
Like, what is, right? Like, I hate these contrived, because this isn't a real story.
It couldn't possibly.
Yeah, like, come on. I hate these contrived as well-meaning.
My thing about those type of platitudes and stories that try to elevate them, the people that come up with them, they are the people that I am most concerned about. Because it's one thing for you to have a point you're trying to express about morality, about the way people treat each other. Nigga, just come out and say the shit. Rather than you making up a story to try to illustrate some blah, 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 just say what the fuck you mean. The other part is, in cases like this exact one, the lesson there isn't what you thought it was. And you came up with this story specifically to show one type of lesson when it's obvious to the other people like, why he just didn't get up and take power.
And then on top of that, realistically, who among us that don't normally burn shit would just put something burnt in front of somebody and not comment?
Yeah, that's the other thing that's weird. Your grandmother must have had the worst day of all days at any job in the history of work culture, right? Because she wasn't even thinking about what this was. Her mind was so focused on what happened to her at work that she burnt this shit, couldn't smell it burning, couldn't see the burnt crust on top, and just put it in front of y'all and go, bon appetit, motherfuckers.
Yo, when I say burnt, like, there's barely any brown on the top.
Oh,
of it.
Jeez.
It's just black. Like, what do you...
Your grandmother just stuffed coal in your stocking and you sitting over here.
Like, get the fuck out my face.
Look out of here with this dumbass shit.
Boy, man. Come on, man. Anyway, next up.
Do better.
Next dumbass of the week. The other dumbass of the week. It's so easy to get online and talk about some shit as if you know what you're talking about.
Oh my God.
But the problem arises when you run into somebody who actually does know what
they're talking about.
All right, so this is actually one of the topics, but we're not about to do the topic right now. This is just connected to it. So I'm assuming black guy. I can't really tell. I think so, though. I'm fairly certain he's a black man. And I don't know what he was originally responding to. But he says, stop deflecting. Kiki, as in Kiki Palmer, out here being disrespectful to her man and father of her child. 5 years from now, when nobody wants her, remember this is why. So this lady responds and says, I know for a fact that Kiki will not be hurting for suitors 5 years or even 50 years from now. LOL. He said nobody's going to take her seriously. Why would they? Nobody on her level above will be willing to put up with a relationship with her. She's going to have to date
down. You bottom of
wait. Saying nobody on her level or above will be willing to put up with a relationship with her. She's going to have to date down. The lady responds to her and says, it's interesting that you could talk about this as if you know Kiki. You don't know Kiki.
Or as if he knows people in that stratosphere. Nigga, you've never been there. It's like these niggas quoting shit from Kevin Sain was talking about high value men
exactly,
who aren't high value men.
That's exactly. So he responds to her. You don't know her, and you'll never see her either. And then she proceeds to post a video clip of her hanging out with him.
How
enough he didn't respond.
He ran away. And he ran.
Like, bro.
So you ran. You know why you ran? Real simple. Because you don't like accountability. See, you went all in. You didn't just stick a hair in your forehead. You put your whole head in up to your neck.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment that guillotine started coming no.
Like, nigga, what are you? First of all, you could have just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yo, it's always an option.
At any point, right? Because your initial comment wasn't necessary. And loud and stupid. I ain't gonna say wrong. Loud and stupid, right?
Right.
But when she responds to you and says, I know for a fact, that kind of alludes that she knows who Kiki is.
This is
just a little bit. It don't outright say that she knows
but
who
it's
is.
context clues.
Bro.
I think what he thought was she was using a colloquialism. Listen.
No.
and just the thing that's, again, it bothers me so, because he was uber confident in this shit. And also, God, some of you guys really need to get over yourselves and actually see you for as you are, and not this. Some motherfuckers are counting their potential as who they are now. And when they speak about shit like this, they speak about it from a standpoint of as if a woman's whole goal, her entire life, has to be with a motherfucker like you. Or that being in a relationship is the most important thing in her life. This assumption that is her whole goal in life. I got to tell you, you motherfuckers sound like you were 30 in the 50s. That's what you sound like. Like, they are whole people with motivations and things, goals and shit that they want to do in life. And they place those things in order of priority. And you keep assuming because some other jackass told you that this is what it was, that the woman's main priority in her life is to be in a relationship with someone that tells her what the fuck to do all the time. Man, y'all motherfuckers got a lot of shit with you, man.
Doesn't seem ideal. Let me play the end of this TikTok for y'all.
So I responded, Keke Palmer doesn't know you exist. Which is true, but homeboy swears that she doesn't know who I am either, and so I'm being childish. Keke doesn't know who I am? That's weird, because we've definitely worked together more than once. And she follows me on Twitter and on Instagram. But this is when they get real silent. When will the people learn on these apps?
They won't. The answer is they won't.
They won't. That is the answer. And honestly, even for myself, when I fuck up and because out of frustration, I ask these asinine questions that really there's only one answer to.
Yeah.
They won't.
Yo,
they better leave me. They won't. Yo, they should get smart. They won't. The right thing to do is they won't.
Not like this. All right. So on to topics. The first topic of the day. So, Plano police, this is somewhere in Texas. Plano police investigating altercation involving private security guards captured in viral social media post at popular bowling alley. Plano police said they're investigating an incident that went viral on social media involving 2 private security guards at a popular bowling alley. The department said officers responded to a report of an assault at the Plano Super Bowl on K Avenue around 2 a.m. Wednesday. One of the women involved filmed the incident showing 2 men dressed in tactical gear and security badges forcibly removing the group from the building amid a heated, profanity-riddled argument. No, it's not harassment. That's y'all touching us. No, it's not harassment. Let's go. This is what the security guards were saying. The Plano Police Department said its investigators are looking into the incident and asking anyone with information to call. Plano Super Bowl released a statement that read in part, "We are aware of the incident that occurred in the early morning hours today, Wednesday, regarding a group of patrons and contracted security guards that work within our establishment."
Then they continued, "Be advised, we don't give a fuck."
Well, kinda. It was an incident that escalated in a manner in which we at Plano Super Bowl do not condone in any way. While the incident began with a case of underage drinking involved, something never permitted, the verbiage and language used, as well as the actions of the security guards, are in no way something that Plano Super Bowl and our staff conduct themselves.
The language what language was used, sir?
We're still in the fact-gathering stage, but are taking necessary steps to proceed forward. As such, the involved security guards are indefinitely suspended and will not be present at any time for the foreseeable future, pending further review for any additional disciplinary action. Let me see if I can play some of this video because, nigga, get that down and go to bang. All right, is this? I think this is it.
No, it's not harassment.
That's y'all touching us.
Man, it's not.
That's y'all touching us. It ain't harassment. Y'all touching us.
Fuck your mother.
Yeah, you don't need this
Fuck
job.
your mother if you got
You don't
one.
need this job.
Ladies, let's go. Let's go. I don't care. Fine, let's go.
Yeah, y'all see how
Yes,
they
that's right. You're getting done right there. Tell the world. Tell the world. Fine, that's right. Let's go. Have a good night.
Done like that.
Fine. Let's go. Let's go. Yep, go ahead. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
You know what? You know, I don't give a fuck about none of that. Don't touch me.
Fine. Fine.
The fuck?
Let's go. Up right up. Get in the car. Get in the car. You putting your hands up in face shit. Get in the car. Get in the car. In the car. Yeah,
That noise that you heard,
that was a taser.
No, it was mace. The noise you heard was mace. All right, so these the black women in question are 19, 20-year-olds. The
Kids,
security guards in question are grown-ass men.
of course.
Roided up, that type. I'm not saying that they're on steroids.
Right, what you're saying.
Like the big,
That's
dumb
right.
type.
That's right.
Go fuck your mother.
Go
Like,
fuck
what the
your
fuck
mother.
you? Like,
You're
what are
getting. You're
What?
getting. That's right. Tell the world you're getting done like that.
Right. Like, one black, one white. And
You know, like I've always said, that really doesn't matter.
nah. Because
Really.
systems are systems.
I've literally been treated better in, I would say, half of the cases, white cops have by black cops. That shit don't matter.
Here's the thing, though. They are not cops. They presented themselves as cops at first.
Oh my!
They are only security guards. They are not security guards who happen to also be cops.
They're
They are
top.
only-
Shut up.
They are only security guards. They are not police officers.
Wait a minute. Are they bonded security guards? That has to matter. Right?
Not that I don't know. I'm not sure about that part.
Do they
So
have guns.
yes, actually, I'm not gonna say yes, definitely.
Okay, because they have guns.
When I watched the video, I do believe that they had guns, but it also is Texas.
It's Texas. your infant has a gun,
Right?
like it's Texas.
So, the mother of So what's not clear by this and by the statement that they gave, or either the police department or the fucking establishment, what's being alleged is that effectively she bought alcohol underage. She bought alcohol from the establishment. There was somebody found out they were asked to leave. She tried to get her money back
for purchasing that.
Right. When she went to sit down, one of the guards yanked the chair from under her, so she ended up falling on the ground.
Whoa, stop now?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. She tried to get her money back. They said no, of course. Then she tried to sit down. The guard moved the chair
as she was sitting down,
and she busted her ass.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're over there violating.
Then they almost effectively physically put them out of the establishment. And when in the end, when you heard him yelling, "Get in the car, get in the car," right. He's talking to them. He's telling them to leave. Once one of them is inside of the car, that's when the mace comes out.
What?
So,
okay.
The mother of the girl who fell, I don't know if she's also the one that got maced, but she ended up going to the hospital. Her mother came up there with her brothers, and they were trying to get information. They weren't on no rowdy shit. They weren't on no rah-rah shit. They weren't on no type of bad energy. They were simply trying to get information.
Good for them.
They talked to one of the managers that was there, and this manager would not be helpful. He
refused.
He would not give the guards names, nor would he give the company that they work for's phone number.
Yeah, he was on some bullshit. We see it.
We see people have been saying online, because this happened like I said, Wednesday,
right?
And it's been blowing up ever since.
Of course,
people have been saying that she deserved it because she was underage drinking.
No, we're not doing that.
Like all types of dumb shit.
We not doing that one. Underage. Yeah. Like, see, this is why I hate, legitimately, thoroughly, down to your quantum particles. I hate you bootlicking ass motherfuckers.
Bruh.
You seem to, y'all have a whole different type of penal code in your head than what the law actually says. Bruh. Because it'll be these little infractions, these little things take place, and y'all make the decision for yourself that the person deserves the most extreme response to that shit based off of what? Your fucking respectability politics shit?
Effectively.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
Because here's the thing. You get caught drinking underage. First of all,
exactly,
the establishment needs to be reprimanded.
Exactly.
Because why would you sell them alcohol?
Why would you?
That's first. Second, okay, fine, put them out. Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Fine. Yeah. But don't snatch the chair from under her as she's trying to sit down.
That shit is crazy, bro.
Don't mace them when they get into their car.
That's crazy.
What are we talking about?
And again, this is the shit that bothers me, because a lot of the times it's usually the people who a situation, maybe not exactly like this, but something similar like this could take place. And when I say similar, I mean as far as severity, could take place, and then you get fucked. When they go overboard with you, then your ass is on TV or online talking about they did this to me, and I got this. This is the part that bothers the fuck out of me, because it's like, yo, the very idea that they're supposed to resort to violence simply because you may have done something out of line. There's such thing as proportionate response.
Yeah,
this ain't it.
Again, mind you, these are recently former teenagers.
Yeah. And we listen, I've raised kids. I'm telling you now, they can say what they like. And maybe it was different back in the fucking 40s and the 30s. But I've been around 18-year-olds. They're kids. I've been around 21-year-olds. They're kids. All right? They're fucking kids. Right? And regardless of what the actual law says, if you have raised children in modern times, they are not like the kids back in the 40s and the 30s that when they were 16, up from the time they were 16, maybe 13 years old, they worked at some fucking event somewhere. Right. It ain't the same. The socialization is different now. Correct. It's not the same.
Correct. So that's still ongoing. When I saw it Wednesday, I was hoping that there would be a little bit more of a definitive. Yeah, like, but
well, unfortunately, what'll more than likely happen is if there is any more news about it, it'll either be one, there'll be no more news about it, or two, if there is news, you know how they'll take the salacious parts and blast that out, but then there's a correction or there's something that we would like to know the result of that. It's on a back page.
So no, the last thing on this is the family now has a lawyer and charges have been filed.
You better go get that dude Crump. Hey, look, what Kenneth says, I'm 20-year-old, I'm hurt.
I mean, listen. Sorry, McKenna, but
you could possibly be the exception to the rule.
You can be an exception to the rule, but the rule is the rule.
The rules, the rules, the rules.
All right. Up next. Which one do I want to do first? All right. Please don't be asked when I ask you this question.
Hold on, stop for a second. Stop. Stop. Because we need to really like put a bookmark right there at what you just asked me.
That's
like saying, look, I need you not to be a tree. A tree.
You done? You done?
How come you ain't do the How come you do the impersonation of M'Baku? How you down?
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Hold on. Ooh, sigh. All right. Got it.
Actually, it's a rhetorical question because I know the answer. Okay. You know the rapper No Name. Stop.
I'm trying to control it. I haven't said anything yet.
Yo, I hate you so much. I hate your guts. The answer is yes. I know you know her because I have heard the show before.
Yes, I have heard of. Yes, I have heard of
her. Just say her.
I have heard of her.
Oh my God! Why is this life?
Nigga is right there.
I know that.
It's right there.
For those who are unaware, No Name is a Chicago rapper. That's really what's important for right now. So No Name has addressed the backlash to Dre Electronica's anti-Semitic verse on her Sundial album, saying she is not going to apologize for a verse she didn't write. The Chicago rapper released her latest project on Friday with guest appearances from Common, the last Friday this is, August 11th, with guest appearances from Common, Billy Woods, Silk Money, and more. But it's JLX verse on Balloons that have sparked the most discussion. On the song, thank you, Biddy. On the song, the Rock Nation rhymer takes shots at the Jewish religion while also doubling down on his support of the controversial Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan. He says, and I quote, "Everywhere I step foot, I leave a trail of names of the sons of Yaqub and a trail of flame."
Oh, damn. First of all, I have to say, as somebody who studied Nation of Islam doctrine, Yaqub's doesn't just mean Jewish people.
Right.
It doesn't. That's not how they use that.
Of the sons of Yaqub in a trail of flames, I'm on fire. I'm plugged in directly to Messiah. I run with the mighty Khan as we expose the liars. And some fuckboy 85er come run up and press me.
Oh, he all over. Wait a minute. Now the nigga used 85er.
Listen.
Crazy.
And some fuckboy 85er come run up and press me. It's all a hoax, quite simple. A joke like Zelensky. The imams, the rabbis, and the Pope incidentally couldn't stop my boca from quoting quotes from the senseis. If anybody asks, tell them Farrakhan sent me. It's the war of Armageddon, and I'm begging the listener. If you ain't fighting that, means you either dead or a prisoner. There's more, but it's no reason for me.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this about that. Motherfuckers is late. They were literally doing verses like this in the 90s. All of that shit, that type of rhetoric that they got right there, there was dozens
of
rappers saying this same 85er, Yakub. That shit is old to me.
JLX Defiant Rhymes rubbed some listeners the wrong way, with several people calling out No Name on social media for including such a verse on her album. Some person says, please remove J Electronica from Balloons. That anti-Semitic bullshit verse was not it. One fan commented, somebody said, why did you let J Electronica on your album, and why did you let him say that anti-Semitic bullshit? Again, there's more to the verse than what I read.
Yes.
Someone else says, please address the anti-Semitism, No Name. I have looked up to you for years and your silence is absolutely deafening. Another disappointed listener commented, everything you stand for means nothing if you're not going to stand against anti-Semitism. Please do something. However, No Name let it be known in a statement issued to her Instagram stories on Sunday that she is not willing to take responsibility for Jay's rhymes, not wave the white flag under pressure from critics. Here's the truth, she said. No, I'm not anti-Semitic. I don't hate groups of people. I am against white supremacy, which is a global system that privileges people who identify as white. I've been clear about this for years. I'm not going to apologize for a verse I didn't write. I'm not going to apologize for including it on my album. If you feel I'm wrong for including that, that's fair. Don't listen. Unfollow and support all the other amazing rappers putting out dope music. Your disappointment truly means absolutely nothing to me, and I say that with love.
All right, so she said that with love.
She pulled a Dej Loaf.
Yeah, she did. First of all,
effectively,
as somebody that has been in music for 40 fucking years, you 100% have control over the verse that goes on your track.
She did not claim she didn't have control over it.
Now, this is what I would have done had I been her. I would have read the room. Yeah. I would have read the room. Like, yo, this?
Wait, it's worse. No, it's worse. What you're about to say, hold that until I read this last couple of paragraphs. Okay. No Name previously came under fire for featuring J Electronica on the album when she revealed the album's track list in July, with some fans expressing their concern about his history of anti-Semitism. Niggas legit rap about actual murder and sexual. This is her response to that. Niggas legit rap about actual murder and sexual assault that they commit in real life, and y'all can't take a J Elect verse. Please drink water and be safe out here. I'll see y'all when my album drop in a few weeks. Sending love and prayers. Been seeing a lot of critiques about my choice to include Jay on my song. If you disagree with his political and religious beliefs, that's fine. But to compare him to Hitler, a man responsible for the extermination of millions, is wild as fuck to me. It's truly not that deep. So what you were saying about her reading the room, no. There was a sign outside of the door.
Before she even came in.
Before she entered the room.
The sign was clearly there. Bro, it's the thing that killed me is I have taken verses off of songs from collabs. Like, yo, this ain't it. For various different reasons. It could have been that the quality of it just wasn't. No. Or it could have been that the content that they were talking about either did not fit what I was talking about, the overall theme of the song, or they were saying some shit that I was like, because I know that will be on my project. And I will take the heat for this bullshit you're saying right here that I don't even subscribe to.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So, nah, we not doing that.
You are never going to hear a song from me in which someone is on there talking shit about black women.
It's not happening, B.
Because I don't ascribe to that rhetoric.
I don't ascribe to that. And listen, your voice on your verse is right next to their voice.
Yeah.
Because it's all the same song.
And I promise you, if you hear me on a song with somebody who is on that bullshit, my verse will be a stark contrast. Stark, very stark. Like that verse. This is probably why the song never came out. This dude that I was messing. Oh, I've been meaning to say this for a while. I just have never had a reason to say it. It doesn't really fit in here either, but I'm reminded of it.
Right.
I have several times on here for whatever reason, whether a good reason or a bad reason, have mentioned I am not a part of GU. Right.
Right.
But I've had decent representation from GU on my music. Yes. I've worked with Gats, I've worked with Tim, I've worked with Nessa, I've worked with Eddie. So that being said, this other person was probably the only person I've worked with musically that was not a part of GU.
Right.
And he was close to being on some Hotep shit. So he sent me a song, a beat with a verse on it. And I was like, I have two options here that I'm reasonably going to do. Either I'm going to tell him, I can't. Right. I can't be on this. The reason that wasn't really feasible for me personally was because the beat was hard. I ain't gonna hold you. The beat was hard. So the only option I was left with.
You should have ghosted it. You should have ghosted it.
Listen, that's funny. The only option I was left with realistically was just make it very clear.
Yeah. Make the separation. Make the separation. Right.
Matter of fact, let me see if I can load it up real quick. What is because he was on some.
You know, the thing about that is though, bro, is that everybody, for the most part, does music for different reasons.
Absolutely.
And like all I can do, especially when I was heavily in that part of my career, all I could do is be true to the shit I'm on. And that means if another motherfucking rapper and I are supposed to be on the track and they're saying things in that shit that I don't support, I don't want my brand mixed up in it. I don't want my brand mixed up in it because I don't support these things. You know what I'm saying? And now, it's one thing if we're talking about a difference of opinion and favorite color. Right? I like purple. Well, I like whatever. That's different. When you start saying shit that effectively dehumanizes people, and it's something that can be even misinterpreted as that because of the way you wrote it. Because again, Yaqub is the Hebraic term word for Jacob. So this is why when people hear that, they think that he's talking about Jews exclusively. Now, I don't know about the other shit he said before that song, but the term Yaqub in the Nation of Islam does not refer to only Jewish people. Right. It refers to all whites. That's what Yaqub is, as part of their mythology. Yaqub himself, according to their mythology, wasn't even white. He was a black guy with the big-headed scientist that allegedly created white people. That's part of their mythology, right? And people who don't understand anything about the Nation of Islam's core belief system, but when they heard the term Yaqub, of course, Jewish people know what Yaqub is. Right. You know what I'm saying? So they hear, you're talking about us. But in effect, they actually not. They're talking about all white people when they say that. Yeah. And I know I studied their doctrine. I've gone to their newcomers class in my youth. I know this is what the fuck. I've read Message to a Black Man by Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This is what the fuck they mean. But the average person doesn't. But all they do is hear that. And again, I don't know what else Jay said before, but I know that's enough right there. You know what I'm saying? That's enough to incite. That's enough right there.
Absolutely. So basically his verse I don't have his. Well, I actually might have his verse, but I'm not about to look for that.
Right.
So his verse is basically the normal Hotep rhetoric, and all that shit. So I literally, my third eye mainly consists of logic. Fucking no tep. It isn't woke. You just switch the topic and the target of the oppression over to our queens. You got to see the issues that plague us as a whole and things that aren't necessarily the most favored by the public. I love it when my people get it right. See, my fight is against the ones who claim to see the plight our people go through, but we'll switch up on our people all the same. It's not a game of shit. That song didn't come out.
Of course, because you went in and destroyed that bullshit he was saying.
Yeah, that song didn't come out. So,
and please explain to me why a lot of these guys, wherever their anger is, they point the ire to our women. And I'd be like, yo, I certainly get you being angry with other groups that you feel historically disenfranchised, violated, and continue to either benefit from that violation and could care less about it, or doing things currently to fuck up your quality of life. I get that anger, that rage. That makes sense. Why are you pointing this back at our women?
I can tell you.
Why is that?
They have very little awareness of the world. That's one. One, they have very little awareness of the world. Two, it is much easier to deal with outside oppression when you galvanize around a group. And when you take it to the smallest extent, it's black men.
Yeah.
So other black men, we're attacked by everybody.
Right.
Black women included.
And that part right there is a relatively new addition to that mindset.
Yeah.
Because I was intimately there. There used to be a time when they would hold them up, like, but over the course of a few decades, somehow that shit has infiltrated itself into that, where now our queens are the enemy now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or they part of the problem and all this some bullshit. And it's like, when I see them do that, because I've actually had these arguments with niggas that be on that shit. I said, yo, you can't talk to me like I'm someone that wasn't there. I was there. And a lot of that shit that y'all saying, especially the new elements y'all done added to it now, that's not from a place of love my people. That's from a whole different place of authoritarianism. That's a embrace of misogyny, and just you're trying to wrap it around liberation, black liberation theology, but you're really just taking certain cultural elements that you learned here, and you're blending that in with shit that you say is supposed to help us be better, but it's not. That one thing I know, if nothing else, that a lot of whatever habits, cultural imperatives, whatever you picked up from a culture that disenfranchised and violated you, it's more than likely going to be wrong. It's more than likely going to be something that maybe benefits a certain group, but will never benefit you because you're not on that ladder in the society for that to benefit from. This is why the other reason why I get so annoyed when I see people who don't come from money, and typically all of the negative aspects of a society that's built the way that this one is, when it comes to financial and economic prosperity, it literally is against you rising, but I see you making defenses for the system that did that and the people that's in place that keep that system that way. And I'm like, yo, you don't benefit from that, my guy. You don't benefit from that.
Not an iota.
Can you at least be transactional? You don't benefit from that. The fuck out of here. That shit is the shit that's keeping.
It's stupid.
I had a friend say to me, he said, because he reads a lot, and I love this dude dearly. Don't get it twisted. But he's been confused and he's been conditioned by the type of things he's been reading over the years. These get-rich-quick books that have these wealthy people, right, who have they don't give you one iota of information to help you start a business,
Right.
Learn about supply and demand. Figure out what you're interested in and how you can monetize that. They don't give you not even how which type of business license should you get. They don't give you any of that. Instead, what they give you is anecdotal stories about them growing up and conditioning as far as these mottos and these little mantras that they have that are really very catchy, but teach you nothing about business. Actually, all it's doing is indoctrinating you into their way of thought. So when these people who are poor themselves and have been poor their whole lives say because they read these books, the reason why that this is the way this is because the majority of people don't want to do what's necessary to become that's not the system, not the fact that I had a conversation with him about the 1%. So the reason why they call them the 1%, because there's a small number of them. The vast majority of people ain't in a position to do that. I said, bro, this system is not set up. This is why all that stuff is capped by. Anybody can be rich. This system is not set up for everyone to be rich.
No.
If everyone here had $10 million in their bank account, and say you worked at Burger King, and you went to sleep one night and woke up and looked at your account and you had $10 million in there. It was legit. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't none of that shit. Are you going to work that day?
Correct.
Just saying.
Spoiler alert. No.
Well,
all right. I've long talked about this.
I'm not letting you do it. I already told you, nigga. I told you if I become rich, I'm not letting you do it. I'm not letting you do it. Like, no, nigga, we got shit to do. You're on the clock, nigga. The fuck? I'm not letting you do it. No.
Oh God.
They're gonna be mad as shit. They're gonna be mad as shit because you're gonna wake up, a bag gonna be over your head, your arms and shit gonna be tied up. Some big motherfucker that grabbed your ass out of the house, take you down. You in the car, and then when they say, and they take the shit off, it's gonna be me, Fab. No.
Oh God. No. All right. The next topic. It's the main topic. It's Keke Palmer, but it's new stuff. It's new stuff.
Oh,
all right. I'm a huge proponent of petty. I personally think the world needs way more justifiable pettiness.
What the world needs now.
I mean, quick aside, there is this YouTube channel which is basically a modern
Keep going,
version.
I can hear you.
Okay. It's basically a modern version of To Catch a Predator. I enjoy it massively. I was trying to figure out why, because I had stumbled across it on TikTok, and I was like, okay, well, if there's a TikTok of it, there might be a YouTube channel of it. And sure enough, there was a YouTube channel of it. And I watched that first episode, and I was like, yo, this is absolutely amazing. But I could not, in my head, figure out exactly why I liked it so much. And then recently, it came to me. The main guy that's doing the catches is incredibly and unapologetically petty to these people, and they absolutely 1000% deserve it. And it just brings so much joy to my soul to see someone being what would otherwise be unreasonably petty to someone who actually deserves that level of pettiness. Also, there aren't any actual children being preyed on in these videos. The company that is doing it, they have decoys and whatnot. So that's kind of, for lack of a better term, that makes the content green. For lack of a better term. All right. So I was on TikTok minding my business, and then I had seen that Usher and Keke Palmer were putting out a song. Now, for those who don't remember, the big dust up with Keke Palmer a little while back was that she was at an Usher show at his Las Vegas residency, and she was on stage with him, and he was singing to her, and she had on kind of like sheer bodysuit and underwear under it. And her boyfriend had jumped on Twitter and started saying some dumb shit. I don't know if he was originally on Twitter or Instagram, one of the two. And he was just talking about, oh, you're a mother.
No, it could have been Instagram.
I don't know. You're a whole mother.
You a whole asshole.
This and blah blah this and blah blah that.
Shut up.
So,
and by the way, there was a chorus of Negroes, males, running behind that dumbass shit.
Oh, there still are. There still are. So I was minding my black business, my black owned business. And I had seen on TikTok that Usher and Keke were putting out a song. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. The name of the song is Boyfriend. I'm like, this is
petty.
This is interesting. I was thinking, oh, this is just the perfect amount of petty. Boy, was I wrong. It was much pettier than I could have imagined. I watched. It wasn't just a song.
Why does that remind me of an episode of Supernatural where one of the archangels, who wasn't as powerful as Michael, Satan, or Gabriel, told the boys, he was like, I'm the worst person in the universe that you want on your ass, because Michael and Satan might be strong, but I'm petty.
So, like I said, it was much pettier than I initially imagined. Keke, for those who don't know, Keke Palmer can sing. Like
she can she can sing.
Okay, nigga. So when I saw that Usher and Keke Palmer were putting out a song together, outside of the petty aspect of it,
yeah, of course. I
didn't think twice because okay, cool. Right. Yeah, Keke didn't actually sing. It was a music video. The lyrics, first of all, are hilarious. The video said on like graphics in the video, it says starring Keke Palmer. You know how like certain music videos, it'll say starring such and such,
yes,
and then the next scene it'll be and such and such, and no. It said starring Keke Palmer. The very next scene, Usher was on screen, and it did not say anything else.
Yeah, about Usher,
starring,
right.
Just said starring Keke Palmer.
Yes,
and at the end, Keke makes a joke about her being a whole mother. Chef's kiss, right? So let's get to these actual articles. Keke Palmer takes a jab at Darius Jackson and Usher's boyfriend.
That was a jab?
No, that was a haymaker.
Anyway,
come on, what are you doing? Get out of my face. Can you? It froze. Why did the article freeze? This is Billboard.com. Why did the article freeze?
Because
there we go. Usher and Keke Palmer can't stop stirring the pot. After season the collaboration 24 hours ago,
that's like the pot calling the kettle. Go ahead.
Shut up. After season the collaboration 24 hours ago, the two stars have debuted the music video for the R&B legend's new song, Boyfriend. Following some drama with the actress's alleged ex-boyfriend, Darius Jackson. The Wednesday, August 16th visual stars a glowing Keke Palmer having a night out with her friends and hanging out with Usher, who taunts in the song's lyric, "Somebody said that your boyfriend is looking for me. That's cool. He should know I'm pretty easy to find. Just look for me wherever he sees you."
Oh my.
Bruh, like what? Okay. Midway through the video, the song pauses to show Kiki and her girls listening to Usher's 2001 hit "You Remind Me" in an elevator, during which she exclaims, "I love this song. Do you remember where you were when you first heard this?" After a suave dance break in a casino led by
a suave dance break.
Listen, I don't even know how that works, but anyway, led by Kiki, who lights up on screen. The video cuts to her waking up in the bed to answer a FaceTime call from Usher. That's where she drops in the biggest diss towards Jackson. Shit, I'm so tired. I am a mother after all. She says, winking at the camera.
A whole mother.
She says, winking at the camera. The cheeky line pokes fun at Jackson, with whom Palmer shares a 6-month-old son. Last month, Jackson took to Twitter to call out Palmer for a sheer outfit she wore to Usher's Las Vegas concert, lamenting, "We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother of his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case." That's not how resting your case works, sir, but okay. Reposting a clip of Usher dancing with a swooning Palmer during the show, Jackson also wrote in a now deleted tweet, "It's the outfit, though. You a mom." Neither Palmer nor Jackson have commented on the status of their relationship since. Regardless, Palmer seems to be living her best life, taking to Instagram following the music video's release to thank Usher for encouraging me and seeing me as the entertainer I am. She also said, "I know I'm a girl, but when I watched your videos, I never wanted to be the girl in them. I wanted to be you. Thank you for making my dream come true." In the video, there's a section where she's dressed like Usher, and she has her whole own dance section and all that other stuff. So that's cool. So this next one says,
this is the same, different article about the same
different
thing,
article. Right? Yeah.
Just one thing that I want to point out. The stuff that we know about that situation is the same things that everybody else in the public knows about the situation. Can you imagine the conversations and the level of petty in those arguments behind the scenes?
Bruh.
Yikes.
All right, so this article came out shortly after the music video came out. Keke Palmer's boyfriend, Darius Jackson, has moved on amid relationship controversy. Darius Jackson may no longer be the boyfriend in question. They are so petty because they put boyfriend in quotation marks and capitalized boyfriend because, again, that's the name of the song.
Right.
Oh, the petty. Just on the heels of Keke Palmer teaming up with Usher for his new song "Boyfriend," a source says, "What are you doing?"
Oh, sorry.
On the heels of Keke Palmer teaming up with Usher for his new song "Boyfriend," a source said, "God damn it, stop with the ads." A source said her estranged partner, fitness instructor and actor Darius Jackson, is making new moves of his own. He's moved on, a source tells People of Jackson, who made headlines in July when he publicly criticized her attire on social media posts of the star dancing with Usher. Blah, blah, blah. The two, who welcomed their son in February, have not been spotted together since the incident, though Palmer has kept busy with work engagements. Neither have addressed the status of their relationship publicly. A rep for Palmer declined to comment. According to the source, Jackson is focused on his acting career and wants to put the drama behind him in terms of co-parenting. The pair are making it work, as the source. You don't have
Hold
to
on.
Whoa. What?
Some of the ways this is being referred to is like this some shit that happened a long time ago, and they've had time to get through the thing. This shit really just recently happened.
I mean, sure, yeah.
They're making it work. This shit, y'all so is y'all good. I mean, you're making videos.
No, listen. He says you don't have to. The source says you don't have to be in the same household to be good parents.
I'm not saying
Palmer
and
that's Usher,
wrong.
The two announced boyfriend with a teaser trailer. Blah 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 blah. All this is. Blah, 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 blah. Speaking to People earlier. Oh, okay, that's cool. All right, so this next update.
You know that by the way that relationship was probably already on the rocks. Anytime he got on, social media at that time and just did all of that, like it seems like there's some toxic shit going on there.
All right, now do not react to what I'm about to read. because there's something that I have to read that directly after it that is
okay.
Needs to be heard before you react.
Okay.
So Keke Palmer worked hard for her entire life to build a small fortune, and now that fortune is about to be much, much smaller, at least according to one of her baby father's friends who spoke to Media Takeout. Yesterday, news broke that her baby's father, Darius Jackson, was leaving Keke. Now, Media Takeout spoke with one of Darius's associates, and he dropped a blockbuster. According to Darius's friend, Keke's baby's father is going after the bag. The friend explained Darius has been the primary caregiver for their son, and so it makes sense for him to get custody. And since Keke is the breadwinner, he should get child support. According to a Google search, Keke's net worth is about $7.5 million, so you can expect whatever child support payments that she makes to Darius will be hefty. And there's more. Darius's friend tells us that he has been living in Keke's Los Angeles mansion, and Darius's pal believes that he deserves to get her home too. The friend added, it makes sense. Leo was born in the son. His son's name is Leo. Leo was born in that house, and so he should continue to be raised there without disruption. If Keke was a man, no one would question what the right thing would be. But there's a double standard when it comes to women who are the breadwinners and men who are stay-at-home fathers. The article ends with the sentence, "Damn, Keke may have really messed up." Now, let me read this. Darius Jackson speaks out amid Keke Palmer breakup reports. Has Darius Jackson issued a statement before now? No. In fact, the fitness instructor doubled down that he has not given any sort of message in the wake of his reported breakup from Keke Palmer. He says, "I have not spoken to anyone about anything. The social media, I have not spoken to anyone about anything or gave permission to anyone to speak for me." The 28-year-old clarified that any media reports on his state of mind are not coming from him, adding, "So all these sites and posts about me making any type of statement is false." Darius's words come 2 days after multiple outlets reported that he had separated from Keke, with whom he shares a 5-month-old son. The same day, Keke seemingly threw shade at Darius over his critical comments regarding the outfit with the video. Keke was not spoken about their separation, later starred blah, 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 blah. What's more, okay, all this is old stuff. Blah, blah, blah. So, first of all, Media Takeout is what TMZ used to be.
Yes.
So, and the funny thing about it is, when I had seen it at first, I didn't know it was Media Takeout. I had synced it. I didn't know it was Media Takeout. Mm-hmm. Then this morning, while getting ready for the show, I tried to Google him, asking for custody. Could not find it anywhere. So I went back to where I first saw it and realized it was Media Takeout, and I was like, "Oh, God damn it!" So I went to the Media Takeout's website to find the article so I can have it to read, and then I looked up his name and found this article that I just read. He ain't say shit, and I'm not surprised, and I don't blame him. The smart move
is to shut the fuck up.
Is to shut the fuck up, because opening your mouth in public is what got you in the situation.
Facts, and at least it's refreshing to see someone take a L. Mm-hmm. Identify the reason that L occurred, and then made corrections so that that L wouldn't repeat itself or exacerbate or expand upon itself. It's refreshing.
It's a breath of fresh air.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you something, man. If you wanna
be funky, be free.
Just don't spread none of that funk on me. No. Listen, if you want to have a situation where I would speak glowingly of humanity. All humanity has to do. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's it. Look, if y'all shut the fuck up, I will probably think better of, if I start seeing more examples of people that when this situation clearly calls for you to shut the fuck up and y'all do it, I might be a little less.
No, listen, I ain't gonna hold you. You get props because you have shown propensity to not shut the fuck up when you should. So when you do it, absolutely. Listen, he was stupid for the shit that he did last month, but since then, he has shut the fuck up.
And you know, the thing about it is, I think some people have confused running their fucking cake hole with strength. Like, if you take the case of the former president of the United States, he gets himself in so much trouble because he keeps running his fucking mouth. And he's gotten away with it because typically he's at odds with the media.
Yeah.
The media can make you look like shit. They can expose you and all of that, but they can't send your ass to jail.
Correct.
Don't have. But when you're in a situation where now you've been indicted 100 million times, you have 4 trillion charges pending against your goofy ass. Any defense lawyer would suggest to you strongly that you shut the fuck up, because at this point, anything you say will be used as an admission.
Bruh.
It will be weaved into the narrative that the prosecution
Especially
has.
since you can't seem to keep your story straight.
Yeah. It's shutting the fuck. Motherfuckers really underestimate the power of shutting the fuck up.
Yo, y'all listening, y'all get on here and y'all sit down and y'all put on the Black Culture Geek Saturday morning cartoons, and you hear me and Tim talk for 3 hours. I promise you, this is probably 75% of the speech that comes out of my mouth in a week.
Bro, the conversations that me and this man and Marissa, the conversations we have, this is nothing.
Yeah.
This is nothing, because we recognize a couple of things. We may not have formulated the proper way to have a public conversation about certain topics without putting our foot in our mouth.
Absolutely.
So we have erred on the side of, we're going to shut the fuck up about that.
I'm not going to touch that one.
We're not going to talk about that because we don't know how to say it in a way that doesn't screw shit up. This, you would think, right, that you would think that after all the examples we've seen of motherfuckers getting in a little bit of trouble and turning that little bit of trouble into a big, that everyone would have learned, or the vast majority of us would have learned of a certain age, would have learned, like, yo, sometimes it's not the initial thing that buries you.
Right.
It's what you do after that your response to whatever the response was to what you did that buries the fuck out of you. I think too many people have started to see it as, fuck that. I'm going to say it on one. And I got to be honest with y'all. Y'all be keeping that same energy at your job. I know for a fact
ain't no way
that a large percentage of you all of a sudden understand the discretion of keeping your fucking mouth shut sometimes and not always responding to shit on your job. When your boss is sunning the shit out of you.
Bruh, suddenly you get decorum and you get
suddenly
cool.
You learn tact and decorum on your job. Where all that energy at about?
But to be fair, hold on. To be fair, maybe that's why, right? Maybe because you have to do it so much at your job, when you feel like you're not in that situation, you just diarrhea.
And you know what? There's a balance that you can strike with that.
Right. And that's not
so.
It.
And that's
what
not
y'all be doing is not the balance.
Y'all overcorrecting,
bro.
How you feel at your job. Now, don't get it twisted. There are people on that. There are people that have jobs where shit go down. They say what the fuck they want, but typically you find those people at the unemployment.
Nah, I'm lucky that way. I'm very opinionated. Listen, if it wasn't, I ain't gonna hold you. If my people's at my job wasn't my people's at my job, I'd be in trouble. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm very opinionated.
You'd be putting in a teleserve. See, this is the shit. This is the shit. And but again, I'm gonna tell you another time I noticed where people have learned discretion is the better part of valor. Some of these motherfuckers get online talking crazy. talking my freedom of speech is in question here. You on a social media platform, you literally signed a waiver to get on the platform that they agreed that you wouldn't act an asshole in the way that they didn't like on here on this motherfucker. You did all that, but despite all that, you doing that. There was a video that came out not too long ago. It was a Jewish MMA fighter, right? Jewish MMA fighter had to hear all this bullshit from followers of Nick Fuentes, the Nazi, racist, booger-eating son of a bitch who says that sleeping with women is gay. All right, whatever. But yeah, he said that. Whatever. All right. So one of his followers online challenged him and said, fuck that, because I'll come down to the gym that you roll at and we can get it on and blah, blah, blah. Now, to the dude's credit, he actually showed up. He came down there. The problem is, though, Broseph, is that when he got down there, the energy that he was displaying on Twitter seemed remarkably absent. With the strong claims and statements he was making online about it, didn't believe that 6 million Jews died, about all this other shit, all this anti-Semitic bullshit that he was on there saying. When he got down there, he was excusing all of that under the guise, I just be trolling. So do you agree with Nick Fuentes? I mean, about a lot of things. Did you agree when he said this? Well, maybe not in that way, this, that, and the. There was a lot of politicking. And then when they got on the mat, he took an ass kicking. He took an ass kicking. And then after the ass kicking, he got more straightened. Then his friend that he knew from online, wanted to defend his friend's honor. He came down there, fought another Jewish MMA guy, got his shit rocked and bleeding. When this ends, after all that tough ass shit you were saying on Twitter, when this ends, after he's sitting there with blood coming out his nose, blood in his mouth, he then gets the straightening that says, maybe I need to re-examine my friends. Y'all know when to say what. It's just that when you get in these situations where there's no accountability for the shit you said, you go crazy. And then you give us this whole speech about the Constitution and the Founding Fathers and our freedom of speech and all this other shit. But when you get in certain situations, you know instinctively that discretion is the better part of valor. You know, because you're afraid somebody's going to put their foot hip high in your ass. And you all of a sudden know, I better not say that here. I better not say that around him. I better not say that around my boss. It's interesting how that happens.
Very, very. And again, like I said, no matter what you've done previous, generally, shutting the fuck up will help you moving forward.
It will help you move forward. Like, you can get past that shit. Like, even if there's some residual bad things that has happened because of the shit you said back then, it won't compound that interest.
Right.
Right?
Your bill still won't come due.
The bill comes due.
But it won't be compounded.
It won't be compounded. You won't be paying a bunch of taxes on it.
Like, Kiki was probably still mad at him for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
And this, the video,
yes.
I don't care what you say.
Yes.
The video.
Yeah.
Come on.
Video.
Come on. But in shutting the fuck up, he may have been able to save his relationship.
I believe so. If there's still a relationship. Right. At the very least, he didn't make it difficult. Because the thing is, like, I'm a man that has been in a situation with the mother of my child, and we ain't good.
Right.
And I learned just by being able to work out the shit that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Before we even get there, I looked at what was important to me. What was important to me was a healthy, emotionally healthy child. The way you fuck that up is when you allow whatever emotional baggage you have because you and the mother aren't good.
Correct.
To take priority over the child's happiness. My kid did not need to see me and her doing the stupid shit, nor did she need to hear me bad-mouthing her every time she was with me because I just couldn't control myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it was many times where I thought shit that I did not say, right? Because I prioritized my daughter's well-being over my emotional state, which for a lot of years was fuck. I was angry for a lot of years about that shit. So I held a bunch of that shit in. And since I could not really go where I wanted to go verbally with that, I put it in music. I put all that energy in music. I put it right there in the music. Like, all that rage, that's there in the music. And I still managed to do that without going super, super overboard about her moms.
Right.
And the songs that I did that, they never were released.
Right.
Because they were never meant to be released. They was just to get the shit out. You know what I'm saying? But some of y'all, I don't know, man. And I look at the average person slightly different, only because they don't have the amount of eyes and shit on them, but they do have a comparable amount, meaning, so an actor who has a bunch of sponsors and gets money from a lot of different things because he's so well known. He has these eyes on him that the public perception of who this actor is has a lot to do with the money he's getting, because that's why these entities want to do business with him. It would behoove him to watch what the fuck he says publicly, and how he responds to certain things publicly.
Yeah.
The average person feels like they don't have all that shit. Let me say what you do have.
Social media.
Social media. Social media is something we didn't have back in the day.
Correct.
This gives the potential for millions of people to see some shit you said or shit you did. And here's the thing. The effect on you, while not the same amount of money that could be lost, it's comparable, because your boss and them find out you on there on the bullshit. You lose your fucking gig, and it make it harder for you to get another gig later on, because now you can't even use these motherfuckers as a reference now because they got rid of you because you was on some hateful bullshit or whatever you did, right? So it's comparable, and you would think at this point, at the very least, celebrities, because you've seen it happen to other ones, will be like, oh no,
right,
not me. But I don't be finding that though. A lot of times they just, and maybe that's why maybe that's the reason that the universe has deemed for me to only get a certain amount of fame, because I know better, and the universe doesn't want people that know better to get that. They want the ones that don't, because they got to balance shit out. Like, you already getting all this money. You're already getting all this adoration. So the thing that balances that out, you're gonna be a dickhead online. You're gonna say some dumbass shit that costs you money or costs you standing or some shit. And these broke motherfuckers, that only maybe be marginally famous in a certain niche, they got all the common sense in the world about what not to say, when to say it, and all sort of shit. But you're not going to get that, though. I'm not giving you that. You be too powerful. You be too powerful with all that money and having the sense to go, oh no, so sorry, I'm not. You're too powerful.
It's not the
You're
move.
Too powerful.
It's not the move.
I'm just saying.
All right. So Y'all know what time it is.
What time is it?
It is time for Am I the Asshole? Listen, the music is it's either gonna be here or it's not. I ain't gonna make no promises. It's a whole thing. All right.
Shit.
So we got quite a few of them. All right, am I the asshole for telling my parents that they are not getting money off of me so they can spoil my siblings the way that they never wanted to spoil me?
Ooh, petty.
My parents had me at 27 and 29, respectively. I was their only child for 14 years, and in all the years I was living with them, they never believed in nice things or treating me for any reason. They had the money. My mom was often buying more makeup and shoes, and my dad was into golf, so their money went to their hobbies, and I had the basics for everything. Anything I wanted, I was told no. Christmas and birthdays were for practical gifts. School supplies they bought without me because it was basically plain everything, and they didn't want me complaining about wanting a character backpack or a pink pencil or something. I always remember it was really hot one summer, and I was 8 years old. An ice cream truck stopped in our neighborhood, and all the kids were getting ice cream, so I approached my parents, who were talking to some neighbors, and I asked if I could have money for one too. They said no, because ice cream was not an essential, and I could go inside and get some water if I wanted to cool down. A neighbor offered to pay for my ice cream, and my parents put a stop to that as well. I went inside for the rest of the day anyway because I was upset and jealous watching all the other kids eat their ice creams and knowing my parents wouldn't even let someone else buy me one. They started to change after I moved out of the home. I noticed when an invite came from my little sister's 5th birthday party, and it was a huge surprise because I never got a birthday party. In the 3 years since they have thrown birthday parties, gone all out for Christmas, they took them on vacation, which I never went on, but my parents did. Then several months ago, my parents realized I was doing well for myself with my art. They asked me to buy my siblings these big gifts for Christmas, and I said no. My parents said they could only get them so much, and I shrugged. These were easily $300 to $400 gifts each that my parents wanted me to buy. And of course, I was to give the gifts to my parents to give to my siblings. A few days ago, then my parents asked me for money for stuff for my siblings, and I said no. They said I was being very tight-fisted with my money and to think of how much it would mean to my siblings. This is when I told them they don't get money off of me to spoil my siblings the way that they refused to spoil me. My parents said I was being petty and that I was punishing the wrong people. Am I the asshole?
All right, so,
bruh,
I gotta say, maybe, because here's the thing. While it's true that they didn't give him shit, shit, that was frivolous or anything, I gotta factor in the fact that we're hearing this from her. And me personally, I know dealing with people, especially when they talking about stuff from when they were children, they tend to embellish certain things.
All right, okay, that's true, but we can't allow that to be a part.
No, I understand, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that's not what that's the first thing that went through my head.
Right.
The other thing is, I certainly understand her not wanting to give her parents her hard-earned from her art money to do some stuff that she didn't get. But it does kind of smack a bit of, I had to pay my student loan off, so y'all gonna have to pay yours off.
Listen,
it does kind of feel a little like that.
No, nigga.
But she's not a parent. She's not the parent. You know what I'm saying?
I disagree so much. Oh my God, I couldn't disagree anymore.
I'm just saying.
I do disagree. First of all, the whole I had to pay my student, that is a macro problem. We're talking about a very personal situation with one person in their family.
With one person? No.
Yes.
Didn't they say it's multiple children? Her siblings.
I said one person in their family. So, nigga, no, it's not comparable. If this is true, and that's the only thing I can base it off of, because I don't know nobody in this fucking situation.
Right.
If this is true, fuck her parents. Because what the fuck do you mean? Listen, it's one thing. It would be one thing if they just didn't have the money.
Right.
But that's not what it seems like. If they didn't have the money, fuck her because she wildin'.
I can hear you.
If they didn't have the money, fuck her because she wildin'. Right. But if they did have the money and they would go so far as to go school shopping without her so she wouldn't ask for specific things, and they would go so far as to not let a neighbor spend let me see. She has to be 21.
How old? About 21?
She has to be at least 21. Mm-hmm. I would say, just based on the information in this, because she doesn't say how old she is now, but she has to be at least 21. So you're telling me that 13 years ago, the price of a fucking ice cream cone from the ice cream truck, not only were you not willing to spend it, but the neighbor offered to give the money, and you're like, no.
That's wild.
It'll ruin your appetite, but it's not essential.
That's wild.
The fuck?
But again, it might be also how I view my siblings versus how she viewed hers. Like for me, it was never about my dad. It was never about my mom. I fuck with them. Thanks. Even when I'm mad. And if I'm the older, like my sister, I would give her money just so she stopped crying. Sometimes.
Here's the thing, you're not 14 years older than them.
No, that's true.
And you were raised with them.
Oh,
she was not raised with her.
I forgot all about that part of it.
She was not raised with those siblings. And it's not to say that she doesn't like them, doesn't know them, anything like that. That's not the point I'm making.
Right.
But it seemed from her wording, she might not have meant this, but from her wording, I'm gathering that the parents wanted the money, not the gift.
Yeah.
They wanted the money so they can get the gift for the
siblings. And she did, and the parents
not
did say,
can you give
right,
them a gift? No, can you give me money so I can get them? No, man.
That's out of line. They're out of line.
Terrible. Y'all terrible human beings, and y'all finally decided to get y'all shit together, which I always you have to applaud someone for making the right moves in life.
You kind of do, right?
But you don't use your first daughter who you neglected is a strong word.
It is,
but
especially if she had everything else.
Right. But you did the bare minimum for
right.
If a child only has the things they need in order to survive,
it's still an ass childhood.
Yeah, that's the bare minimum. You did the bare minimum. Yes, that child was always going to be okay,
right? In
a way, but you did the bare minimum.
And more importantly, did you have the money?
Yeah, like if you had the money to do a little bit more, and especially she mentions they went on vacations without her, and like here's the thing: going on vacations without her in and of itself, it's not a problem. That's not an issue.
Ain't. Especially as many of these parents I see on my friends list talking about, man,
kids. Yeah, it's not a problem. Yeah, no, that's not a problem. Man, but here's the thing about fuck them kids, right? Because
I'll be seeing that,
over the years, right? Since the whole fucking kids thing has become a thing.
Yeah.
There are people that don't understand. Fuck them kids is for people who actually take care of their fucking children.
100%.
And some other people don't quite understand that that's what that is.
That's true. But the other thing about that too is you are quite able and capable of saying fuck them kids to your kids when they're young. Just like they are quite able to say fuck them old motherfuckers when they see. And this is the reason why
I think that's the reason why that's only for people who actually take care of their kids.
Facts.
Because if you're not out here taking care of your kids,
you can't
and you talk about fuck them kids,
all right.
We'll see.
You're about to be on some Cats in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon shit.
Facts.
You right.
We'll see how you feel about that later. See if you keep that same energy when you 80, my guy.
Man, fuck with you. That's okay.
All right. I'm gonna read one of the comments. Not the asshole. Your parents denied an 8-year-old girl ice cream, and now expect her to provide expensive gifts for them to give to their own kids. Personally, I would go LC to NC. I have no idea what that means. LC to NC with them, unless you enjoy time spent with your younger siblings. I have no idea what that means.
See, and now the person just mentioned the time spent with the younger siblings. That's why I said, but I didn't factor in the fact that she wasn't raised around them.
Yeah.
But if I had it, even when I was mad at my brother and sister, they was gonna have it.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like the fuck.
Yeah, that's different. If I like, the closest example I have is my Aaron's mother. Aaron's mother had 7 kids.
Right.
The oldest one and the youngest one, the difference in their age, I think he's 30. I think he's 30, and the oldest one is 30. The youngest one is 11.
Right.
They didn't grow up together like they were. So I don't know how close they are, but I would imagine they're not as close as the ones that were closer to his age that grew up with him.
Right.
It's just how that works. Like,
yeah,
you're not into the same situation when they're being raised.
That's true, and you're also kind of an authority figure,
right?
When you're that much older
Absolutely.
than your sibling or whatever.
Absolutely.
And again, my brother was 3 years older than me, 4 years older than my sister. But because of the condition my brother was in, having died on the operating table at 5. Causes some brain damage. It's a lot of shit with that. I became the big brother.
Yeah.
Because he was not capable of being the big brother. And that's why the way I see them is different. Yeah. It's caretakerish.
Facts.
It's
okay. Prime example. Just Chris. He's 3 years younger than me. We were raised together. So if this was the situation and somebody treated me like shit, but they needed something for Chris, I'm like, all right,
I'll get that. I'll
right
in his hand. Right in his hand. Right in his hand from me. Not me give you this.
No,
fuck that. Nah, we're not doing that.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Some of my other cousins, I love them. We aren't as close. We just simply aren't as close.
Right.
All right, next one. Am I the asshole for making my girlfriend clean the apartment?
Oh. Making her?
Maybe. Listen, I don't know. That's the headline.
That's a wild headline.
That's the headline, my guy.
Do it.
26.
Do it. You made that? What the fuck?
Me, 26-year-old male, have a very beautiful but over considerate. That's interesting. Actually, no, I get that. Over considerate girlfriend. She is 28. We have an awesome relationship, and we're living together. The one and only problem is that her sister and her boyfriend both are complete inconsiderate pricks.
Yeah.
They also have one kid. Whenever we used to go out for any activity, this person is not good at writing at all. That's why I keep pausing. I ended up paying for it because I am, bruh. Let me read this sentence how you wrote it.
Yeah.
I was end up paying for it because I am making more money, but they never even tried to return it. I'm guessing English is not their first language.
That has to be what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give them props.
Yeah.
They just did better than I would have did.
Yeah, because I understood. I understood what they meant.
Right. All right. Props for that.
So after 2 to 3 times, I just stopped going and I started making excuses. Recently, me and my girlfriend went on the 8-day trip, and to my misfortune, her sister and boyfriend were going to move into a different place on the same day as our vacation. The landlord of the new place told them that the new place had some plumbing and electrical issues, so it would take 2 to 3 days to fix. So that sister asked my girlfriend to let her stay at our place. I was not on board with this decision, and I even warned her that this is not a good idea, but it's my girlfriend's apartment too. She assured me nothing would happen, and I reluctantly agreed. So after 8 days of blissful vacation, we came back to our apartment, and guess what? It's totally trashed. The walls were scribbled on with pen.
Oh my
God. The kitchen was disgusting. All food wrappers were everywhere. They trashed the apartment in 2 days. Least to say, I was beyond pissed. I left my bags in the closet. I put my bags in the closet and told my girlfriend that she needed to clean this shit by herself, and I left. After I was at the bar, I got a text again. English is not their first language. Right. Once I got to the bar, I got a text from my girlfriend's best friend saying that I was rude to my girlfriend and that I needed to go back and help her. I just told her to mind her business. Listen. He got
to mind your business English part,
right? She said I was acting like a jerk. So am I the jerk in the situation? Hold up. Edit. Whoa, so many responses. I just wanted to update on the situation. I went back to the apartment after 2 hours and my girlfriend was in the middle of having a very serious talk with her sister. Her boyfriend and also their parents were involved too. And I think her mother was really angry at her sister and said pretty harsh stuff like get your shit together or they will cut any contact with her, etc. After that, our apartment was half clean, so I started cleaning with her and apologized for my outbursts, but not for my initial stand. I still think it was her partial responsibility. She also apologized to me on behalf of her sister and sister's boyfriend. We will have one last talk about our boundaries, and I think we will overcome this issue with no problem. That had a nice ending.
You can't apologize on their behalf. I've never been that person.
Oh no, I'm not accepting. Yeah, I'm not accepting apologies on somebody else.
Because you didn't do it. I will say this: I understand his rage, his initial rage.
Facts.
I don't think I would have let Yetta clean it up by herself though. But I do understand his initial rage.
Listen to me clearly.
I just told you.
Listen to me clearly. Listen to me very clearly. Yes, you're cleaning this shit up by yourself. 100%. Because I informed you thusly.
Yes, I know. I know your stance on when you inform people thusly.
To you explicitly.
Yeah, I still would.
That this was not a good idea.
No, I agree.
And I told you.
But I'm gonna take that out in other ways.
No, listen. This is the only way. Here's the thing. Having you correct the actual issue that you caused,
I know,
is the only way
that is typically the 100% way that you know that is an equitable get
that
back.
Is what I'm saying. That's really what I'm saying.
That's an equitable get back.
Yeah, because anything
on
else
the other hand,
might be worse.
I don't mind it being. I don't mind it being where I get more. So.
No, see, I don't want to do that. I don't necessarily want to do that. I don't necessarily want it to be where I get more of the situation. What I want, and you just made me realize that. Really, what I want is the effect.
Man. I get it.
No. I want the effect of what would have happened if you listened to me.
Oh.
And that effect is our apartment not being a fucking mess.
Right.
So. That's really why I absolutely, Chris. You want to clean this up, right?
I mean, like like I said, it depends on, to me, the amount. Because I'm not gonna. If it's like a lot, like if they turned your house into a crack den, I can't. I wouldn't feel right.
Listen. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I've learned about life. There are things that you want to do.
Yes.
There are things you have to do.
Yes.
That sometimes don't feel right to you.
Yeah.
Both of those things you want and things you have to do, that just don't feel right. This would just be one of them.
Yeah.
Like, I was just listen. No,
So let me tell you what I learned about death. Like, life is short. That's what I learned.
Very short.
And but that short life, it tends to be shorter for some reason when everything is going good.
I know, right?
And longer when everything is going bad. And I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
So what I'm saying is I need to be I don't need the long lasting shit that can come from
Listen,
you.
I hear you.
I
hear you. Listen, I hear you. This is a thing that I just can't. I
understand. I get it.
Like, again, you are right. I would feel bad about it. But
like I said, it depends on the amount of, like, if it's fucked up, like
it don't for me. It don't for me. Because here's the issue that I run into with a few of my friends, not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
The issue I run into with a few of my friends is they do this thing where they don't listen, and then I'm right, and then they want me to behave as if
that you were never right in the first place,
bruh. And it's like,
or you didn't say anything,
right? And it's like, so from that, unfortunately,
I can empathize that because how many times have I shared a memory of some shit that I said, and it wound up being that, and it's like, or you catch them slipping with some bullshit that they going balls to the walls for, and you go, that's not true, right? And then it comes out that it's not true. And those same people who was going hard as a motherfucker about this false thing now get quiet and try to act noble. No, we gonna pull you into the light. We need to pull. So I get it. I get it.
I mean, listen. Am I saying that there is no scenario where I wouldn't make her clean the whole thing? No.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That is not what I'm saying. But generally, because again, I told you, I'm not comfortable. If nothing else, but I'm not comfortable with that. Yeah, that should be given credence, right?
It should be,
regardless of whether I'm right or not, because that's not the point,
issue. Right? Yeah. I don't feel comfortable.
I don't feel comfortable with letting this
and obviously happen. Too. He had to have there had to be some past shit that made him feel uncomfortable.
Yo, I'm not just going to randomly tell my girlfriend that her peoples.
It had to be some.
Can't spend a day or two.
It had to be some background shit.
Bro, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
it had to be.
I'm as much as people dislike when we are on the opposite sides of things, because generally I'm more researched about the thing that I'm talking about. You can't say I'm not reasonable, bro. Right. If I'm telling you I don't like this, I'm not comfortable with it, and it's not a good idea. But I cannot make this decision on my own. It is your space as well.
Right.
If you feel like this is now, to be even more fair though, I'd have let her know up front.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, if they tear our shit up, this is on you.
That would have been exceedingly reasonable.
Yeah. If they fuck our shit up, this is on you to fix.
Yeah.
Somehow. So, I mean, listen, my God, I would absolutely, if they like, he said food wrappers all over the place, drawing pen on the walls, and
that shit.
Listen.
Yo,
I love you.
I yelled at my daughter so much when she was a little girl. She only did it one time. I was in an apartment in the projects. I come out there in the fucking living room area, and our walls were cream colored shit. And I see that. Now I don't know where she. You gotta understand. For the most part, my child was well behaved.
Right.
This was so far out of the norm that I was expecting from her. It did not cross my mind that obviously somebody lets her do this someplace else. Because this is out of character. What? You drawn on my walls? Boy. Ooh, I had a fit in there. I had a fit in there. And because I wasn't as close to her mom as maybe some other people would have been even doing a breakup, I did not call and say, hey, can you be letting her? Is this a space in your house where you let her do all this shit? Because this ain't it. This ain't it. Oh, I lost it. I lost it. She ain't get a spanking or nothing, but she got talked to in a very loud decibels. What the fuck? And then I proceeded to try to clean that shit the fuck off best as I could. And I got a lot of it off, but some of that shit was just
all right. So there are two you're the assholes. One of them is reasonable to me. The other one is super. Oh, wait, there's more than two. All right, I didn't even read this one. Let me see. I'm going to go against the grain and say you're the asshole, but way more reasonably than all these other morons. Why are you letting her clean the apartment, let alone making her? A much better solution here would have been to take a moment to rant with her, not against her, and then remove her from the apartment. Take her to the bar with you and discuss like adults what happened and what your options are. This also would have been a great time to discuss your concerns about the sister in a more civil manner. Tell her you're worried about her and the relationship she has with her toxic/abusive sister. You shouldn't have left her there to be frustrated at her sister and you. She's upset enough that her sister fucked her over. Why wouldn't you want to be there for her? Because you were right. Is that the most important thing to you? Yes. No, dumbass. Obviously, that's not the most important thing. The thing that you're suggesting that I do is what I did before this happened.
right.
You're telling me to tell her how I feel about her sister
After the fact. Yeah.
I did that already.
Already did that,
and
right.
after I did that, she still let this be a potential thing that was going to happen. And
again, I really strongly feel hearing the story that there's other incidents or something that led him to
there was
feel,
something that made him think.
Yeah, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody else said, I mean, not the asshole for how you feel, but you're the asshole for being rude and disrespectful to your girlfriend. What you should have done is both of you drop your bags, then call your sister to come over and clean up while both of you go to a bar. Just because it's her sister doesn't mean she needs to be responsible. I disagree. It's a reasonable. I think that's a reasonable comment. Absolutely reasonable concept. But I disagree. It is her responsibility. Yes, it's absolutely her responsibility because she let them go there.
Yeah.
Like that's.
But yeah, calling them back and making them clean that shit. Yeah, that's
the thing about that. Here's the thing about that.
Oh, we gonna fight then?
That's an idea.
That's it.
See, no, you're making it worse.
We gonna fight.
You're making it worse.
Nah.
And this one, where is it? Oh, this one is.
You're not wrecking my shit. And then when I say to you, yo, you look at this shit. This look normal. Bring your ass away to clean this shit.
Here's the only reason I thought about that, but the only reason I would not like expect that to be a thing is because OP has already expressed that that the system does not display a great deal of accountability.
Which sister? Yo, well then it's, you know what? You're right. She does not display.
You're in a situation where ideally, this is the idealism shit. Right. Ideally, she would come back and clean up. Yes. But realistically, is that what's going to happen?
No. Realistically, she doesn't have to clean up to be held accountable. So here's the thing. It was her and who? It was the sister and her boyfriend. Yeah. Yo, there's other ways to do accountability.
Yo, I hate you so much.
Listen, bro. Listen.
I hate you so much because I know exactly what you're talking about. Listen. To be fair, sure, right? Sure.
You destroyed my property. If it had been anybody else, I'd have beat your motherfucking ass and ran down your leg.
But I can't say. All right, put it like this.
You're going to jail now.
It's a stupid situation. It's a stupid situation. Here's the thing, right? So when assigning blame, I don't look at it the way most people do.
Okay.
Right?
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
I look at what is the thing. Like it's always layers, right? Mm-hmm. It's a thing that happened, and there's a thing that directly caused it, but then there's a thing that caused that thing, and then there's a thing that caused that. So that's how I always look at these things, right? So the direct cause is your sister being a fucking slug. or your sister or her boyfriend.
Right.
It might not have been her, it might have been her boyfriend, but they a package deal.
They're a package deal, and why you ain't say nothing? You let him do this amount?
Absolutely. So That's the direct cause. What can I do to fix that? Absolutely nothing. There's nothing I can do to rectify that, to teach them a lesson legally, to teach them a lesson or anything like that, right? All right, so what's the next cause? My girlfriend, knowing how her sister is, allowing them to stay in our apartment while we aren't there. It's another thing if we were there and we could be there to monitor, monitor and police the situation.
Right.
But we're completely away, and they're going to be there for 2 days out of the 8 days that we're away.
Right.
Nah, nigga, like, what do you mean?
Right.
So that I can't, in that situation, if I try to make a correction at that level of it, that probably is the situation that leads to less problems during going down the road. I mean, because you never know. Your sister, your girlfriend might be mad at you if you do anything to the boyfriend.
Bro,
I understand your point.
It's shit that you fuck my shit up. Like
I agree. I agree.
Yo,
I agree. However, again, I'm just looking for the path of least resistance.
I get it, but I'm just telling you that making her
and any person that I would be with long enough
might not be
the path of least resistance. All right, I'll put it like this. At this stage of my life, anybody who I would be in a relationship long enough to move in with, would have to be a reasonable person.
Well, yeah. Absolutely.
At this point in my life.
Absolutely.
Before, wasn't the case.
Right.
My ex was not a reasonable person.
Right.
So I would leave it up to them to deal with. That doesn't mean she necessarily had to clean it.
But it better get clean.
She got to fix the issue.
If that means you had to pay some motherfuckers to come over there.
Or get your sister to pay.
Or get your sister to pay.
Or whatever.
Or
call your sister to come fix it. Like, whatever it is. I'm not saying you have to physically clean it. But because you caused this issue, you brought this issue into our home.
Yeah,
it's on you to fix it. It's incumbent.
No, that's accountability, and that's fair.
That's really what I'm saying.
That's accountability, and that's fair.
If it ends up her not lifting a finger, but it gets resolved,
I don't care.
Yeah, this isn't about punishing her.
But see, here's the part that still bothers me is that so I'm holding wifey accountable, but they not they not being held accountable. That shit bothers me, bro.
It does bother. It does bother.
You violated my shit.
It does bother, but what's realistic? The realistic situation is you didn't. No, stop.
I didn't
stop.
beat up my sister.
Stop, nigga. That's realistic. That's different, nigga. That was for different reasons.
That's true.
So realistically, like, all right, put it like this. The way that I look at it is if I'm somewhere with Fed and we run into one of his people that I don't know, they not my people, but because Fed fuck with you,
yes, I've been in those situations.
We around each other right now.
100%. I've been.
You get a certain level of
deference. You get some deference, right?
Extended to you.
Oh, he fuck with you.
Yeah.
So right.
If that person, while we out, do some fuck shit that does not directly result in fisticuffs, because if it directly, immediately responds in fisticuffs, I got to be a part of that. I got to be a part of that. But if it's something that does not directly and immediately result in fisticuffs, fam, come on, bro.
True.
You brought this nigga around, like what?
Yeah.
That's how I would feel.
And I feel you with that because I do take responsibility for the motherfuckers that my people.
Me too.
I take
all of my people. When I interconnect them with each other, they got their own personal relationships.
Yes.
But I don't expect them to be best friends.
Nah.
I am the link.
Yep.
I am the link.
And there are certain things that I am not going to let. Yep.
Right.
Yep. There's certain things
if
I'm
some
not
fuck
going to
shit
let
happen, that's on me. I have to respond to that.
Yep.
That's how I feel about it. So that's how I'm going to treat other people.
Yeah.
You are the link between me and your sister. You don't have to lift a finger. If you can figure out how else to fix it, but you gotta fix this. Like, not only are you the link, but I told you this probably isn't a good idea.
My nigga, imagine this.
Said, nah.
Imagine this though. Just imagine this. I know you said it'll make it worse if you put hands. If you lay,
it might. No,
it might lay. If you lay hands,
it might. She might not care.
But I want you to see in your head. You come in your apartment, in your studio, and there's shit on your screen that you got on the wall. It's on the nigga. Listen, there's things that mean something to me because of what they represent. My equipment represents my doorway out of. Nigga, you fucked my doorway up. Oh my.
But that's
going a wig.
I'm only responding to the specific things that he mentioned in his OP.
Okay, all right.
So for my apartment, the equivalent would be the kitchen is fucked up. The living room got ink all over the fucking walls.
God, y'all
listen. To be fair, I don't give a fuck about that shit. It's the principle. Yeah, that's really now. My office, if my studio fucked up, that's personal. That's something else. That's a different level. That's a different situation. But if it ain't, the studio ain't fucked up or nothing like that, or I don't gotta spend no crazy money to replace whatever then no, it's principle at that point. It's only principle.
It's gotta buy some Lysol.
I mean, yeah, like that's only principle for me. Principle's gonna get you a different reaction than sentimental.
That's true. But see, the problem with me is I've done shit like that on principle. Not necessarily just because I was mad, but because of the fact that I felt like if I don't punch this motherfucker directly in their nose many times right now, they not gonna learn that I am not him. I am he. Like, don't try that shit. This can't happen again. And sometimes it wasn't about just that person. It was about the perception of me going forward with other people. That if I let that and didn't do,
here's the thing.
No,
that when you talk about it on that level, that matters.
Yeah,
I'm not. Yeah, but this ain't that level.
No,
realistically,
it ain't.
This ain't that level.
It ain't.
This is simply her sister taking advantage of her.
Again, because obviously it happened before. Something happened. Yeah. Maybe not exactly this, but something happened that led him to think.
Absolutely.
No.
Listen, even if it's as simple as I've observed your relationship with your sister,
or I've seen your house.
Facts. But even if it's as simple as I've observed your relationship with your sister,
right,
and I see how you react when she does things.
Yeah.
I've seen that you allow her to
allow her to get away with a lot of shit.
Right. If it's that,
no, that's facts though. That's facts.
Listen. All right, so let me do this other one because I haven't read it, but I feel like this is going to put me back on the other side of this.
Okay.
Right. Am I the asshole for leaving itemized tips to compensate for my wife's behavior?
Wow.
Right. Whoa. Right.
That's a crazy bar.
The potential ramifications are crazy. All right.
Yeah.
My wife and I, in our 30s, dine out every once in a while, but not too often because of my wife's annoying habit inherited from her family. She always complains, always sends food back if it's not absolutely perfect, always makes needless requests / substitutions. Like, for instance,
she's ass.
For instance, she doesn't have any allergies or food sensitivities. It can easily take 5 minutes for her just to order her own food. And sometimes I've already finished my meal by the time she gets her food because she sends it back, asks for modifications, etc. I know restaurant staff don't appreciate it. I've tried talking to her about this, but she doesn't see an issue with it. Anyway, we make decent money. Then we use our combined funds. our combined fun funds on dates or dinners. I recently started writing what my wife does on the receipt and then calculating a tip in addition to the normal gratuity to compensate. So to a receipt, I might add, complained about having X beverage plus $5. Asked 5 questions about a single menu plus $5. Asked for a new drink because too much ice plus $5. Sent meal back was exactly what she ordered plus $5. She didn't notice me doing it at first. She didn't notice me doing it the first 2 or 3 times, but last night she noticed I was spending a lot of time on writing a tip amount and asked why. I showed her what I wrote. She's been mad at me since, saying I'm embarrassing her to the staff. I told her she's embarrassing us. Am I the asshole?
No.
Petty, maybe, but an asshole?
No, I think not.
Update.
Listen.
Update. My wife is otherwise very nice, caring, and generous. She does always say please and thank you for even the most absurd of her requests. Annoying each other like this is our love language, but this time she's pretty mad. Oops. Update. Alrighty, friends, we've had our laughs and shared our perspectives. Since my wife frequents the subreddit, I went ahead and showed her this post. With that said, I'd like to address a few things. First, she and I both know that any posts on the sub are peepholes into people's lives and characters, not display cases. Yes, my wife's behavior when dining out is bad, which is why I tried to think of a way to point it out to her and make up for it. That said, she's not a bad person. Learn to separate the two, and you'll be fine.
We ain't ask you all that.
Yeah, we don't really care about all that. Secondly, when I say she was or is mad at me, I don't mean that she is deeply hurt and distraught. She's calling me an asshole, yes, but that's normal for us. If this was something that was actually hurtful to her, I would not have been sharing it online. Good for you, but again, we ain't
asked you for all that. Yo.
Anyway, she would like for you all to know that she is taking your responses to heart and she is going to be more mindful of how she dines. So that's good. She would like to add that she didn't think it was a big deal before.
No, it's a big deal. And the fact that you didn't think it was a big deal is kind of crazy.
She doesn't think twice about meeting expectations in her line of work, even if they are above and beyond the norm.
I don't care about what you
demand, but she recognizes that not everyone feels that way. She's going to try to be a better customer. She said that reading this was brutally eye-opening, but we both also found some laughter and had a good discussion.
That's cute. Listen,
yeah, that doesn't.
That's
cute.
I don't care about none of that shit.
We're here to be objective arbiters of the situation.
And I always feel a way about people treating service staff a certain type of way. I don't like that shit.
Don't do that shit if I'm sitting with you.
Yes, don't do that shit, bro. Because here's a couple of reasons. I've been in their place, or at least in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I've had waitresses, waiters come back here pissed because the customer's being a complete asshole. We literally almost beat the complete shit out of a customer before, because when I worked at Sizzlers, girl I used to go to school with, she was the hostess up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he didn't get his steak cooked the way he wanted or whatever, and he went up there, tried to run his mouth, and he tried to reach over the counter to grab her, and me and my dog Richard was like wild animals out there, bitch, to the point where the Clarence, the manager, was like, I need y'all to calm down. I got it. And he wound up calling the police and shit. But this nigga was about to catch a beat. Like, it was getting ugly in there. I don't like when I see people treat service staff like, don't get me wrong.
Correct.
I hate bad service.
Somebody fuck up, they fuck up.
They fuck up. But I have literally seen people do the most because of this sense of entitlement. Nigga, you ain't that far removed from this person and what you do for a living for yourself. You ain't no high-powered this, high-powered that. Stop treating them like they less than. Classic example. Before we went to Belize, we was looking at all the reviews to the different resorts to see which one we was going to settle on. One of the things that we saw about the resort was some obvious American talking shit about the service employees at the one that we was going to. We took it with a grain of salt because this is an obvious American with American sensibilities, and there's a certain way there that we are conditioned to be when it comes to work.
Yeah.
There's a work culture here, right? We wound up going to that exact same one, Portofino Beach Resort. I saw what the person saw, but I also saw wasn't a big deal. I also saw that what these service people were doing was making sure everybody was straight before they sat down. Before they went over there, had their little chit chat, everybody was straight. I also saw that when a guest needed something, they on the spot. So this is not a big deal. This is a cultural thing. This is work to them. This is how they do that. Here is where they teach you every second you on the clock, you better be doing something. Sweep the floor.
I was about to say, I've actually seen this here.
Yeah.
I've actually seen where the employees at a restaurant or whatnot might be sitting down.
Yo, for me, it's nothing wrong with that as long as the customers are taken care of. They don't need something.
Everything seems to be running smoothly.
Yeah,
like everything was running smoothly.
The place is clean. The food is good.
Mm-hmm.
When I needed a drink, they came and get my drink.
Very simple. Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about whether or not they chilling or
every couple of minutes they would get up and walk around and
check
survey and check on people. Yeah,
good. Right. Like that type of shit.
Because I'm not the type of person that wants the waiter to be there every 2 minutes.
Hate that because it happened before. Me and my wife, early in our relationship, we went to Ruth Chris.
Mm-hmm.
This waiter kept coming back to the motherfucking table. We in the middle of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And he interrupted the conversation, asked us if we good or we good. I was getting mad. I was getting hot. You could see the smoke coming out my bald ass head. I'm like, yo, he's fucking up my feng shui over this motherfucker, right? But then the last time he came around, he apologized and said, listen, we got somebody here from the such and such. And I went, oh, got you.
But here's the thing.
And I gave him a good review, a super good review.
That's a part of the good service part of it, right?
Yes.
If you're going to be annoying, have a reason.
Have a reason. Come to
and
me.
Let me know. Explain to me, please.
I got it because these people from corporate are here. And
right. Absolutely. Oh, okay.
So when he told me that, I was like, I got it. I got you.
Don't even worry about it.
I got you.
Right.
But that shit, I was getting hot. And you know, like this is roughly 15 years ago. Yeah. So I'm
this motherfucker. This motherfucker want to be causing problems and shit.
Man.
This nigga want to be causing problems with people. Want to be putting people in positions where their feelings gonna get hurt and shit. God damn it, man. Stop being a douchebag, man. God, he about to get somebody's feelings hurt, and he don't even care. The worst part about it is he don't even care. He don't really care. He's doing it for entertainment.
Maybe so, but now let me ask you this: did the person?
God damn it, fam!
Did the person deserve that? He's at work,
and somebody ran into his car.
Oh no!
He said, "You damn right, I don't care." God damn it, fam! Yo, I can't stand this nigga, yo. I can't stand him. I swear I can't stand Yo, when you talk about brotherly love,
yes.
Yep, because otherwise, I don't like this nigga.
Yo, listen, I've heard motherfuckers. Why does everybody say that?
Yo, I'm not going to pull out the full story, but there was a decision that was made amongst the group.
Right.
And in spite of this decision, or actually probably because of this decision, this nigga want to be extending half-assed invites to people who aren't actually invited to things.
Oh.
And knowing that they're going to know that we went.
Well, I think Fab feels that I think he feels that there is a higher calling than just what y'all are on. Like he's trying to teach lessons, life lessons, and sometimes it comes with a little pain.
Yo, listen, here's the problem though, right? It's already bad enough for not bad enough. Bad enough isn't what I wanted to say. It's already one thing to be held accountable for your actions, right? It's a completely different level for you to be drawn into something and then excluded from it. That's different. Me telling you, yo, because of how you behave, I can't bring you around these people. That's one thing. Right. It's a completely different thing for me to put on Facebook, hey, this is happening, and tag a bunch of motherfuckers, and the one person that has been ostracized feel the pain.
Smash down style. Yo, Fabo the master strong style, yo.
Because his argument, when I told him about this, I'm like, yo, stop doing this. His argument was, no, y'all gonna feel my pain.
Damn.
No, nigga. The self-inflicted pain. Like, what are you?
Nigga, listen, this is some drill instructor shit he's doing right now. You go,
nigga. Like what? No. If this, why? Like I
had a homeboy I used to work with. They used to be on that shit too. That I feel like some shit go on. He had to deal with on the shift before me. Mm-hmm. And by the time my shift come in, he would go out of his way. And he would literally say, like, you know, what they used to call me there? I forget. I had a nickname there too. So, you know, I don't feel like you're sufficiently feeling my pain. Like, because I come in here, tell me about what that's fucked up. I'm being, you know, I don't know that y'all sufficiently. You gonna feel my pain? No. He would say, y'all not sufficiently feeling my pain, but you will.
That is terrible.
Well, he was a terrible person, but I love that nigga though. I love that nigga though.
Stop making the situation worse. There's no reason to make the situation worse. Like you're baiting a bad situation. Like, nigga, already, right? Because these niggas love to post on Facebook.
Yes, he did.
Fab will post on Facebook in a minute. Marcus will post on Facebook in a minute. These niggas will clearly, hey, we out doing this. If the nigga's not invited, why would you pre-inform them,
you know what it
about
is,
something that's going to happen, knowing goddamn well that if it happens.
So woman, does he tag him?
Yes, he's tagging people.
Oh, damn.
In the preliminary.
Oh, okay.
In the preliminary, he's tagging people. But when the event actually happens and that specific person isn't a part of it, these niggas still going to post on Facebook about it. And that person is going to see the fucking post.
That feels like, hey, look, man, I got to live my life. I like posting shit. He just going to have to do Like, I'm just living my life, Coach Cheese. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
I hit this nigga in the group text like, yo, please stop tagging this person. Like, stop tagging this person in everything.
It's the worst. Just deal with it.
Oh.
Yo, that's hilarious, yo. So
right,
that is sitcom hilarious.
Bruh, let's do this last very quick one. And you'll understand why it's quick once you hear the headline. Okay. Am I the asshole for asking my boyfriend to ask his 10-year-old son to wear boxers when I'm there? I've been dating this guy for about 7 months now, and I've been coming to his apartment only for a few months. But his 10-year-old son is always naked. No boxers, just naked. And it's completely normal for them. He also has a 13-year-old daughter who is not fazed by this. I'm guessing it's been like this for a while, but he makes no effort to make me feel comfortable while I'm there. And he lets him lay in bed under the blanket and on the sheets I use.
God.
Even heard him tell his mom that he doesn't even wipe his own ass.
Oh,
he snapped at me for telling him all.
I can't.
He snapped at me for telling him all of this made me uncomfortable and upset that he makes no effort to consider how I feel. So am I the asshole for asking for my boyfriend's 10-year-old to wear boxers?
Let me be clear. Emphatically clear. This little nigga don't put something on. I'm gonna start moving furniture in this bitch. No, the fuck he's not gonna lay his naked ass on my sheets that I have to lay on. Even if it's your house,
bruh.
But I gotta leave. No, the fuck we not do. Put something on.
Somebody said, not the asshole. That's odd. Cut bait and run. I mean,
yeah. Like, listen, this is not even a red flag. This is a red blanket. Like, this is this. Nah, B. This is a red drop cloth. If you walk in a house, people invited you over. It's friends of yours, but some of the people people not gonna say necessarily friends, people you know. There's other people around there who specifically don't like you. You walk in the room, they tell you to sit down, and you sit down on the chair and notice on the floor there's drop cloth. You need to leave. You need to leave.
Facts. All facts.
This is drop cloth shit right here. This is drop.
Somebody
gross.
You're not that long into the relationship. You've expressed you're uncomfortable around naked boys. There's not much else you can do. He's not a 5-year-old, and he's not autistic. So either accept it or move on and find a better fit for you.
That shit is gross. You can't give him a toga. We not doing this.
That's what I told you. Somebody else said, not the asshole. This is creepy as hell. The kid is far too old to be running around naked in front of strangers or his teenage sister.
What are we doing?
Oh, somebody just simply said, not the asshole. What the fuck?
Yo, my mom did not allow us to walk around the house without something on your feet. Either socks or some slippers or some shit. So what the fuck? Walking around the house butt ass naked for? Oh, it's gross.
Oh, fuck this person. I was teetering between you're the asshole and
not
the asshole. I was teetering between. Actually, wait, that's not what that means. And if I go look at, hold up, let me see what this means real quick before I completely fuss at this person. What does this mean? Where is it? That's not right. NAH. What the hell is NAH?
NAH? Nah.
No, nigga, it's not. Oh, no assholes here. Okay. Yeah, fuck you. I was teetering between no assholes here and not the asshole until the part about him not wiping his ass. Nudity should be far less taboo in society as a whole. Man, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
First of all, I need for a big ass hook cane to come out and snatch that man off his computer. Don't ever comment on no shit on this shit again. I don't want to hear it. Fuck that. Put some boxes on, put a toga on, some shit, some swim trunks, something. He don't even wipe his own ass. Come on, y'all. I'm not laying in no fecal matter ass sheets.
Not the asshole. Why are you with a man who hasn't parented his 10-year-old into wiping his own ass properly?
That's right there.
And let's said nasty butt onto other clothes.
Said nasty butt?
Yeah, said nasty butt. I mean, I get it. And gets mad that you're not comfortable. He's made it clear he doesn't care how you feel. Just leave.
Yo, I don't like cats on my pillows that I got laid in my head. Fuck
sure.
You think I want your little funky ass son with his shit chips all on the sheets. I gotta dude. No.
10 years old is too old for nudity in front of strangers. The kid is about to hit puberty. He should not be getting naked around his dad's girlfriend.
3 years from 13, yo,
and to push you in a very awkward position.
3 years from 13, you know, in Hebraic tradition, 13 you're grown.
Yeah. Not the asshole, but why ask? And what future is here with a dude who thinks having a feral son is okay? I mean, listen.
He got that nigga feral.
All right.
Damn.
This is a very interesting one. 10 years old is, regardless of mental and empirical development, on the cusp of puberty. It's rapidly approaching a time where it simply isn't appropriate at all. Something I skimmed the comments for but didn't see. Ask your boyfriend if the roles were reversed. If it was the daughter being nude around mom's new boyfriend, I bet he changed his tune fucking quick. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
If his 13-year-old was running around naked and at her mom's house and there was a new boyfriend out there,
right,
it would be a completely different story.
Bro, he'd be ready to flip his lid. He'd be all over that motherfucker. He would be definitely on that. But in this particular situation, he's acting like he don't see nothing wrong with it. There's something wrong with that. And the fact that you acting like you don't see it means there's something wrong with you.
Bruh.
That's gross.
All right, last comment. Also, it's also very creepy of the dude to allow strangers to watch his naked underage son. Very dangerous to teach a kid that this is okay. He might be taken advantage of. And I see it as a possibility that the kid will realize this is weird in a few years and he will feel violated his father allowed it. Kids should start learning to shower alone at around 6 and learn to get dressed that their body is private and learn what are the exceptions when someone can see them naked. There should be clear boundaries about this. This way the child won't be so easy to manipulate by some creeps.
Yeah. So I typically give a sweeping do better, but I don't think that's strong enough. Like,
bruh,
about to call Child Protective Service. Shit,
nigga.
I'm saying like it's not.
He always naked and he don't wipe his ass. What are you doing? What are you doing as a parent?
Nothing. Apparently, he's giving them Cheetos for dinner and all that shit. Like,
yo, he's
motherfucker. This motherfucker ain't doing what he's supposed to do.
He's 10. He should be wiping his ass.
He should be wiping his own ass. He should not
be
running around that motherfucker. Yo, I don't like that shit.
Yo, here's the thing. She ain't even asked him to be fully dressed. She asked for boxers.
Yeah, I don't think it's asking much. No, boxers are such a small bit of material.
She asked for boxers.
Yeah,
simply boxers.
I'm not feeling
simply
it.
Allow me to not see his genitals. Like,
that's asking too much.
Bro, what?
Gross. Then he doing all this on that pillow. No.
Hey, yeah. Also, why the fuck are you in my bed? Like, what are you? What? Why?
Are you teaching this?
Here's the thing. There's a thing about parents letting their children sleep in their beds. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But if my significant other is over here, that's out the window. I don't give a fuck if she's specifically in the bed at the moment.
No.
You don't belong in this room.
No.
We have, as long as we have sufficient space and we have a common area.
Oh yeah.
You don't belong in this room while she's here.
No.
Like, what are we doing? Like,
bro, no. I refuse. I flat out refuse.
That's
look, Marissa. I was doing laundry at 10.
Not only was she cleaning herself, she was cleaning other things at 10. God damn it. Yeah. Like, what are we talking about?
This is appalling, sir. This is appalling.
Don't wipe his own. Now, here's the thing. There's an exception for if he has specific mental issues.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
But
I don't mean you get to be
as
in the
a
bed.
Father, you still should have certain things that you take care of in that
he
situation.
Should be clean. He should be
right.
Clean. So that means you
should be right.
Just saying.
Exactly.
Like I don't know what the fuck going on.
If it's to a situation where you can't effectively teach him to do such, you should be doing it for him.
Yeah, and I'm just completely grossed out now.
Bruh.
Yuckers. Like 100% yuckers. And with that,
hold on. Fab said, "Why can't I drink a liquid death on the bus without passing, thinking I'm drinking a beer?" Because nigga, it looked like a beer. Like, what do you mean? Like, yes, you know what? The first time I bought one of those, that was the first thing I thought of. Like, what is the point of canned water? Like,
I don't understand that either.
I guess it's to keep it cooler because of the conduction of heat and blah 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 versus plastic. Right, but here's the thing: they don't sell those. They don't sell those filled with water.
That's true. I'm just looking at the material though. Like,
I mean, listen. I feel like you are just being
Ass?
a bit unreasonable
Is he being
by not understanding that these people would be confused. And the branding is bit. Have y'all ever seen a Liquid Death?
No.
Let me
Most of the death I've seen has been solid.
Shut up. Oh my God, I hate you so much. Let me pull this picture up before we get out of here. It is an extremely unreasonable question for you to be asking of normal people. Let me see. Share screen.
Yeah, the bus driver was drinking a beer. That probably was a kid, didn't know what it was. It's like, Mommy.
It is an unreasonable question,
bro. That's
for you to ask why they think you're drinking a beer.
That is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That should not look like that. And if it's just water, why are you calling it Liquid Death? Yo,
it's just water.
They're out of pocket, yo. Although,
what, yo?
It's good business, right? Like
it's just water. But
I understand, but
look at this.
But the packaging, though,
like this is their brand. They have different flavors and shit, but this is their flavor. Their packaging for everything. Like,
if I was a professional wrestler and was copying Stone Cold's whole swag, this would they be throwing at me?
Sure. Okay, but that's the point that I'm making. You think that's beer? Yes, you think that's beer.
Yeah, it does look like a beer.
What?
It does.
It
does look
like a beer. It's called Liquid Death.
Like, exactly. Like,
it's a pathway drink. Thanks. It is a pathway drink. Fuck you. Yo, if somebody walk up to, I know what it is, luckily. But if I had no idea what Liquid Death was, and somebody just walked up to me randomly drinking it, I'm like, why are you drinking beer outside?
Imagine a police officer not knowing what it is and see you with that. Like, yo, open container? Really? You don't have the open container? This water, no, it ain't.
This is water. No, it's not. They don't make water like that.
I smell it on you.
I mean, they do.
Bruh.
I smell it on you. Yikes. Like, come on, bro.
And with that hilarity, we have come to the end of our program today. We want to thank all of you.
The original one, the water, just regular water one, looks like a fucking Coors Light can.
Just what? But it says just water.
Well, it says Liquid Death.
Oh, no. Yes, it doesn't. We just like for you all to know that this episode is sponsored by Liquid Death. And we want to thank you once again for joining us on another rousing edition of the Saturday Morning Cartoons, aka BCGz. And please always remember to keep your 10-year-olds clothed. Also, we would like to inform you thusly.
Cleaned and clothed.
We'd like to inform you thusly that there's always music.
Just
expect music. Yeah. Music is always coming. And I'm going to add to that, expect comic books. Comic books are always always going to be comic books coming. They're always on the way. And once that new one comes out, the next one is on the way. Be sure to go check out Chrissy's podcast, Heard It Through the Grapevine. Be sure to check out my man Super Side Guys, Metas and Mutants. Also, check out my man Jaded Nerd channel. If you haven't already, go subscribe to the Multiple Entertainment channel. Also, go subscribe to the Majestic Comics. And please support Majestic Comics through your Patreon. Purchase the books. Support our Kickstarters
so that I can
have to deal with HVAC issues and I can just get the fuck out of here. That's what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? We really would appreciate your supporting this, to grow this, to get more people involved in this, because I can't. I'm going to lose it.
Oh, God.
I'm going to fucking lose it. All right?
If you like Tim being a free man.
Yeah, for real. Like, seriously. Because I did not sign up to live in a Turkish bathhouse. So, so for my man SBJ,
you.
I am Tombstone, the Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.
Peace.